Real Enigmas and Theories is back again with another live stream. What's going on out there, everybody? Yes, indeed. We back. My man, Bank Run. First one here. Good evening. Good evening. Yep. We got Gothic Chick in the building. I love that we are being spoiled like this. Putting Henry in the first episode is wild. I bet he won't be seen until the end of the episode. That's very interesting. Wayne Fishing, what's good with him? Okay, crazy theory. The guy Tabitha goes and sees with the bottle tree is Ethan. Whoa, that is a crazy theory. Shout out to that, though. Beverly's in the building. We got LBM in the building. Yes, looking forward to this. Okay. We got Dizzy Guy in the building. All right. Chicago made gaming. What's going on? Heavy ties to Antarctica. Okay. Y'all was in here cutting up. Carrie's in here, 9:30 on the dot with the hearts. What's going on? We got D Toddams, DT Adams. Okay, DT Adams. Okay. D Toddams. Oh man. Joel Vasquez. What's going on? Del Senior, hello. Thank you everybody for joining tonight's Saturday Night Live. Yes. Daryl, what's going on? The man in black is here. We got Blue Cassius in the building. Yeah, we get into it early. Yes, indeed. Shout out my man Bank Run. Up there doing marvelous things where you at, you know? We got Summer Girl. Hey, Summer Girl, how you doing? We got Nisha in the building. Okay, who else we got? We good. Okay. So let's get cooking, y'all. What's going on? I wanted to share something with y'all real quick. See if I can present this. I don't know. This is one of my favorite jokes I made about this show, yo. This shit's funny. Hold on, let's see if I can find it and pull it up here. See if this works. I don't know. It might not work. Nah, it's not gonna work. It's all good though. We'll present it the way we know how to present it then. We're gonna present it like this. Okay. So how's everybody's weekend going? Is everybody's weekend going good? Hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope everyone's happy, positive, busy. You know?
That's
Yo, this is hilarious. I could never get enough of this. This is hilarious.
that's
Yo, that John funny as shit. Okay. I was really wanting my man's Taran to come up because I wanted to talk with him about this bootstrap paradox, and I wanted to talk with him also about um the grandfather paradox. and kind of go through these things and go over these things to see if we can get a barometer on what's going on with that bracelet. You know, oh, we got a couple more people that popped up in the chat. Terrence said he's going to come through in a few minutes. Beautiful. We got Beth in the building. Okay. All right. The man in black drops the first super chat of the evening. And he says, I've asked this on other streams. What's up with the yellow house always showing up in Victor's drawings? That's that's a really good question. Um, the yellow house is definitely a part of the cookie cutter house vibe going on. Um, it definitely always pops up in his drawings. Um, we've seen the crystal ball. I call it the crystal ball. Some call it a snow globe. I think it's a crystal ball. A snow globe would have different a snow globe would have a bigger view, I think. If it was going, why would the snow globe just have four houses or a couple of houses in it, you know? The snow globe was very clear on what it showed us. It showed us the tunnels under the ground as well, under the houses. I remember I had pointed that out in a video last year, and when I talked about it earlier, couple lives ago, um, the homie Gardenia Blossoms also noticed that there were tunnels under each one of the homes in Frumlin. And we're gonna go through a couple of things this evening. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a great live this evening. Taran's on his way. We're gonna talk about the bootstrap paradox and also the grandfather paradox. One thing about this show is that they definitely have to break down what's going on with that bracelet. Um, if they don't give us that, that's a shitty show. If they don't give us what's going on with the bracelet, that's going to be a shit show. We have the snow globe here. Some call it the snow globe. I do agree that this does look like some sort of water line at the top. To me, this looks like a spider right here. Now, if this is a crystal ball, this could also be like a top metal casing or something on top of the crystal ball. This void area right here, it could also mean, you know, that the crystal ball has a top on it. Um, and there's a spider on the crystal ball. I think this is a crystal ball. I don't think it's a snow globe. The reason why I think it's a crystal ball because the perspective of this thing is from edge to edge. First of all, the horizon line that we see on the ground, the horizon here is definitely from edge to edge. You see the houses in there, and there is that yellow house that the man in black was just talking about. This yellow house definitely does show up in many of the drawings. Um, the yellow house is where Miss Miss Lou and her son are allowing Jade and the Matthews to stay there. So that's an interesting mix up there. You have the Lou's, the Matthews, and Jade all in that house together. Um, that's where Tabitha and Jade were in the kitchen discussing and sharing information. And that yellow house, like you said, man in black, pops up in almost every drawing of a house. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the same yellow house, but it could be, and it looks to be the same. I have small children here at home and they draw houses, and a lot of their houses kind of look the same, you know. I said this last stream. Shout out to the guy who draws these pictures, because drawing children's photos or drawing like a child is not easy to do at all. Like, I've tried it. It's not easy to draw like children. And for him to pull off two different styles, because Victor and Eloise's style looks similar. However, they are not the same, and they are of both like childish or immature artwork. But immature artwork can have beauty in its own right. You had Jean-Michel Basquiat, who drew like a child would draw, and his paintings, sold for thousands still to this day. I think Jay-Z might be the biggest collector of his work, and he's spent hundreds of thousands on acquiring all the pieces that he could. I could be mistaken about that. I've heard that through the grapevine. Um, so the yellow house is definitely in those drawings, in a lot of them. And I think that there's a lot of goings on in the yellow house. The yellow houses seems to be the only house that Victor has ever gone inside of as well. I haven't seen Victor go in any of the other homes. I wonder now, we were talking about this before in a page called From 55555 came into the comments of a live stream that I did before, and he talked, or he or she reminded us that the debate pretty much was about whether we didn't know if the monsters were around when Victor was a kid. I think they were, and we were trying to figure that out. But then, like I said, this page came in, dropped in the comments that yes, indeed, it does. The show does suggest that the monsters existed when Victor was a child. And how we know this is because when he was in the car graveyard with Jade, he spoke about how his mom would play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and tell him to think about the twinkling stars when he heard the screams of other people at nighttime. So when he heard the screams, Taran just popped in. So when he heard the screams of the other people, he would think his mom would play this for him and tell him to think about the twinkling stars to get his mind off of the screaming going on by people being eaten by the monsters. They would hide. She also told him to hide every night. We have a new member. We have LBM as a new member. Thank you for becoming a part of the Magnified Posse. Now you have access to all of our emojis that you can go ahead and celebrate yourself. And everybody, go ahead and celebrate the new member. All of our members, go ahead and throw some of those emojis down in the chat, because we have a new one in the crew with us. Yes. Sophie L. Good day, Sophie L. Well, good evening. Good evening. This is Saturday Night Live. Good to see Sophie L in the building for sure. Who else we got? We got Percy. Percy is in the building. Percy Garcia. CJ is in the building. Okay. Y'all lining up now. Okay. We got Jay Reddy. I think I said that right. Jay Reddy. Bitey is here. How you doing, Bitey? Yes, we got Miss Deb. Miss Deb is in the building. We got a Miss Deb and Dr. Deb. Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Sorry for being a bit late today.
Oh,
Just
no problem. No worries.
Yeah,
No worries. So we were
excited to
gonna.
talk today.
So Sarah and Nathan's house is also yellow. Miss Deb says. So there are two yellow homes. There, yes, there are. Yes, there are two yellow homes there. So what do you think about the yellow homes, real quick? We getting into it. The man in black dropped a super chat with a really thought provoking comment there about that. He said he's actually dropped this in other streams and asked other creators as well. What do you make of the yellow house popping up?
Well, I think on this show there are four um, color schemes. Basically, there's four primary colors being used on the show to represent the four different teams playing on this show and the four different emotional energies that the four players feed off.
Mhm.
So the yellow house doesn't really say too much about the people in the house or the team. Um, I think it's just you'll see these four colors. So it'll be blue, yellow, sort of red slash pink slash purple, and then black. Those are the four. And then since Tilly arrived, there's a bit of green coming up, and it may be that we'll see Tilly wearing more green as the show progresses, and it may be that a fifth, not player, but a fifth being also has its own color scheme and emotion that it feeds off. I think there's seven monsters on the show that are like gods, basically. There's seven like super powerful beings in this world, and four of them are players, and three of them are kind of observers slash participants. But they're not the four main players. They're sort of like I don't really know what they're doing in Fromland technically if they're not players. But there's seven beings and four of them are players, as far as I know.
Okay. So I definitely wanted to talk about the games tonight. I definitely want to talk about the games, and I want to talk about the grandfather paradox. Um,
Did you
Tony
want
put
to go through the Instagram accounts of those actors we think might end up being on the show?
Yes, that would be a great idea as well. I don't know if you have anything queued up for that. You have that. We can go ahead and share that. Let you
Yeah, it's
share
it's
that.
on the Google Doc that you shared with me.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. The Google. Okay, yeah. No problem. I'll definitely pull that up, or you could pull it up. That way, you can control it. And while
yeah,
you're
I could do that.
Tony,
Um,
Tony put out a very interesting video today. He gave me a call and told me
uh-huh.
what it was about. I had so much going on today. I didn't get to check it out yet. However, he definitely told me, y'all go check that video out, by the way, by my man Teflon. He dropped the video and he spoke on something that could definitely be an interest to either one of us easily, which would be the ventriloquist dummy and the ventriloquist dummy possibly having the spirit of Chris stuck in there. That's a very interesting. I remember he told me about we were talking about it and he said he was thinking about Child's Play and the original Child's Play and how the guy put himself inside of the Chucky doll with a voodoo spell or a hoodoo spell.
How
And
old would Christopher be now if he was still alive in Fromland? That's
he,
the issue. How old do you think he was in Victor's time?
okay, so he'd be if Victor's there for 40 years, this man would be at least 70s or 80s.
Victor's been there for 44 years, and
Hmm.
40 of them there's been no game being played. He's been alone for 40 years, but he's been there for 44 years. So if this guy was in his, let's say he was 50 in 1978, that would make him 94 now.
Okay.
So is there a 94-year-old Chris running around Fromland?
Well, why would he? You said that he would be 94.
If
Why
Chris
would?
was still alive.
But you just assuming that he's 50.
Well, that's how old he looks in the picture where he's holding the diary, the Polaroid that Jade keeps bringing up.
You think he looks that old? I don't
Maybe
know.
40. Could be 40, I
40.
suppose.
He look around 40s to me. I'll give him 40s. You know what I'm saying? Here he is right here.
Let's see what the chat has to say. You're right. He could be, I don't know. He looks like mid 40s, maybe. Maybe 50s a
Yeah, he
bit.
looks like he's in his
Short.
40s, early to mid 40s. Look like he about 45, something like that. He could be. He has a little weight on him. Um, he does.
We could look up the actor,
Yeah, we could
see how old he is.
sleuths, or you hopping on. Okay, yeah, he look mid 40s, 50. I could see 50. I wouldn't be mad at 50.
He's portrayed by Tom Payne, the actor. But there's another actor called Tom Payne. One sec. Here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, it doesn't say when he was born. It's very helpful. Tom Payne, actor.
Yo, I actually like I like the theory of Chris possibly being trapped in that doll. You know, that doll's got to speak at some point, right?
Yeah. I don't I think we're gonna find out. I think we're gonna see the dog turning into something else.
Oh, look at what CJ said. Now CJ touched on my theory with this one. First, let me hit through a couple of these, what people are saying. Okay, we got Wayne saying 52. Daryl says 40, mid 40. Bank Run pretty much saying the same thing, mid 40s. We got LOL this game.
You
Says
know,
mid
if
40s.
Christopher was supposed to be a main character, he doesn't
Golden
have a
Child.
very big filmography at all.
Oh,
He's
Dizzy Guy says mid late 50s. Okay, so just let me say this. Okay, so CJ says that the actor who plays Christopher sounds like the voice on the radio that was talking to Jim. Now, I think the voice on the radio that was talking to Jim is the same voice that was speaking to Kenny. I caught the sound bite thing with Kelly's voice. So I just, I think my ear might be pretty good on this. I don't know. I think they sound similar to me. A lot of people are saying that the cowboy was who was on the phone, which I doubt that. Their voices sound very different. If I had to do like pitch correction with these two guys, I'm sure the parameters would be totally different just from what I'm hearing,
Have we
right?
heard Christopher speak before?
No, we haven't heard Christopher speak,
Yeah.
but
There's no
I
way of knowing, really, is there?
well, unless he's an actor and we've heard him speak in something else.
That's a good point.
And
I can't find much on him. He's only been in like three things, basically, like 3 or 4 things.
well, that's
In
pretty
like
much what CJ's saying. CJ's saying that it's not, we haven't heard the character, but he's saying that the actor that plays Christopher actually sounds like the voice on the phone or the voice on the radio talking to Jim. So that's the interesting point there. Now, my theory is that that's the voice on the radio, that's the voice on the phone, and I also think that um that might be the voice talking to on the phone to Jim. I think that the voices are going to be the same. I don't think Jim is in a dream answering the phone because they did that already. But I do think the voice is going to be the same. The same voice that we heard talking on the phone to Kenny, I do think that's going to be the same voice that we heard talking to we're going to talking to Jim on the phone. So I think we're going to get the same voice. That was
if he's, do you think he's gonna look the same, or do you think they're gonna age him up like Martin?
oh, they're going to have to age him. They
Yeah.
definitely going to have to age him.
So
Now,
he's gonna be at least, if we assume 40, which I think the average was closer to 45. But let's assume 45 then. Why not? If that's the average of what people are guessing. If he's 45 and it's been 44 years, that guy's basically 90 years old if we see him again in the real world.
Right, but like you said, we did see a character like Martin hanging around. Martin looked like he was about 100.
Yeah, they aged him up for sure. I actually think that Martin is around in 1978. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't think he's from super far back in time, but he is a super experienced actor. The guy playing Martin. You got to
Hmm.
wonder for a brief cameo for like small segments of 2 episodes in season 2. Why would they hire such a successful actor to play Martin and then do so much makeup on him that you don't even recognize him? I think
Now,
that
this is why I like Tony's theory though, because if it is Chris in that doll, then yeah, he can get we can get away with that. We can definitely get away with Chris being alive if he's in the doll, right? We can get away with that. The doll did move because we saw the doll in one spot when Tabitha and Victor were in the caves, and then we saw the doll in another spot when Jade went down in the caves. The doll was sitting somewhere different. Now, I mean, for surely one of these monsters could have picked it up and slow walked it right on over to where Jade saw it or whatever. Anything could have happened, right? But if Christopher is in that doll, then then
which doll? Which one?
the ventriloquist dummy.
Now that I can get a bit more on board with.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. That's what his theory said. I gotta go check out the video. I gotta go check out the video.
I'm sorry,
Um,
I thought you said he said hoodoo doll, so I thought he was talking about the ones in the woods and stuff.
no, well, he did speak on that, in saying that if this was hoodoo, I got to see the video, but I think that what he was trying to convey that if this was hoodoo, then hoodoo could be existent on the show, and possibly Christopher's ass is trapped in that doll. So that's pretty much I could get behind that, or um, the whole theory of Chris being out in them cabins where he's an old ass man. Now, this is what I think
That I
about
could
Chris.
see. That I could see. If if Jim and Kenny aren't time traveling, then the most likely other solution is it's Chris living in the woods with some peaches that he scavenged from the peach truck. He's, almost 90 years old. They make him like an old sort of hermit type character, potentially. That would be an interesting angle to go with. That he's like the Rousseau of Lost, basically, the person who's been living in Fromland alone. Victor's kind of like Rousseau as well, but maybe Christopher becomes like the more extreme version of that. Who knows?
Ah, okay. Okay. You talking about like Robinson Crusoe?
No, on Lost, there's this French lady who's been stuck on the island alone for like 16 years, and she's like living in the woods, and she's like got a special rifle and stuff, and she like pops up in certain episodes, and I wonder if that's what Christopher's going to be.
Okay. Okay. Um, I think that now here's the thing. If we're gonna say that Jade and Jade and Christopher are mirroring each other with this book here. Both of them are seeing the symbols. Both of them got infatuated with the symbols and stuff. You know, I think that Christopher knows things about this place. I think that Christopher figured things out about this place and it kind of made him look crazy. He like let's for instance, if you saw them kids, if you were a guy that smiles a lot and makes people laugh and makes people smile, Victor said that he used to smile a lot. Victor said that he used to make people laugh, which was very hard to do in this place. And if you saw some kids looking like that on them slabs and shit like that, that would probably make you a little bit less happy, make you a little bit less cheerful and jolly. I think that he has come across some things in Frumlin. I think that he has learned how to use certain things. I think that if he is whoever, someone has a crystal ball, and whoever it is most likely going to be Chris. That we haven't talked about his death at all, and he's been mentioned. And you're right, he would be an old head. Now, would he be like a regular old head that's like out in the real world? For having to have survived out this place and stuff like that may have kept him younger. You know, there are a lot of people, older people that have gardens, and some I remember growing up, I had a girlfriend, her grandmother was 103, and she used to get out there and chop sugar cane in Florida when I was growing up. Her grandmother was 103 years old, and she was out there chopping sugar cane with a machete. So, and they had a sugarcane field in the backyard. And so, that kind of work and that, gardening and stuff like that, that definitely does preserve you and keeps you young, keeps you active. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think this dude would be like nursing home bound. You know what I mean? And maybe he might have even been able to tap into some healing factors and stuff that we're not quite certain on yet. I think that has to do with Donna and Colony House. You have different take on it, that you think that it's more so just Donna, but I think it could be a bit of both. Um,
Well, what do you think of the idea that every one of the seven beings and four players has a symbol associated with them? So that the F in reverse might be one being's symbol, and then the three roots that Jade sees, that symbol that Jade keeps seeing, is the symbol for another monster, and maybe we're going to see more symbols popping up on the show, representing, maybe there's going to be seven symbols that we need to assign to a different being.
oh, that's heavy. That's
Like,
heavy.
doesn't Ethan say that maybe there's good symbols and bad symbols? If each symbol, and he's also said, is there anyone trying to help? So I guess what Ethan is saying is, if we make the logical leap that each symbol represents a different being on the show, then there's good beings and bad beings, which we kind of expect on this show, considering there's a good team and a bad team. Is there anyone trying to help? I think that I think there's good beings on the show. There's a good team and a bad team. So
Hmm.
maybe that's why he says there's good symbols and bad symbols. So if I had to guess, I would say the reversible F, the sort of Norse looking one, I think that's the mark of Cain, which makes the three root symbol the boogeyman symbol, potentially.
Okay, so Chicago Maid says something here. First, Jay Reddy says, what if Christopher needed Victor and his sister to recreate the thing that Jade seen in the caves? And that's why his mom said to hide, thinking it wasn't good, but Christopher was right. Okay. That's a good thought there. I don't know about the last part, thinking it wasn't good, but Christopher was right. If he was trying to recreate that shit he saw in the caves, then that's not good at all. Because them kids wasn't doing well.
Well, you got to ask yourself, you know, are is the boogeyman trying to get the souls of seven children every round? Is that how the boogeyman wins? Is that why he wants to kill Ethan? Is that why he targets Megan? Is this why children are important on the show? Is this maybe why they target Fatima's baby? Do they need the souls of seven children? And the seven we're seeing on the show are the souls of the seven children from the last time the boogeyman won.
And this could be the reason why they want the children dead or something.
Yeah, maybe it's like the boogeyman needs seven kids. He's already got six. All he needs is Ethan now, and because Ethan's the only little kid on the show, like Julie, maybe she doesn't count, maybe she's too old. So maybe that's why Ethan, maybe that's why Sarah has to kill the boy. Maybe that's why the boy in white tries to lure Ethan into the woods, and then the dogs come to try and scare Tabitha and Jim away when they stop Ethan from following, going deeper into the woods. Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm starting to think that each symbol on the show represents a different being, and you got to wonder: is the symbol that Jade sees? I think that's the boogeyman symbol. Now that I think about it.
This was her in Okay, okay.
Okay.
I could
Okay, I'm
rock
starting.
with real enigmas I could rock with that. I'm not mad at that at all. When I think about boogeyman, I kind of think like proverbial boogeyman. Like like when you say boogeyman, you mean like the Baba Yaga type figure, right?
Yeah, so my understanding on the show is that the beings there's three bad beings, three good sorry, no, there's four bad players and two good players and one kind of neutral player. And their archetypes for the bad players are dragon, sea monster, boogeyman, and beast, as far as I know. Um, so, so the boogeyman is uh, he's Cain from the Bible. Sorry, no, the boogeyman is Canaan from the Bible, and the sea monster is Cain. So I'm guessing the symbol Jade seeing is the boogeyman symbol, and the F looking symbol is the sea monster's symbol. Yeah, okay, that's what's going on. Dang, well, you helped me understand something today, Real. So thank you for that.
Oh,
I
no
think
problem.
I think each symbol represents a different being in Fromland. That's got to be what it is. So we got to keep an eye out in season 3 for more symbols that we don't know what it means.
Hey yo, so I wanna play a little. I wanna play a video of mine that I did about the ventriloquist dummy. For those of you who have seen it, bear with me for a minute. If you haven't seen it, check this out. It's still on the channel. You can go look at it again independently. But I wanted to play this about the ventriloquist dummy because it's definitely an interesting take. And that ventriloquist dummy has been like jumping up at us since we saw Tabitha and Victor spotted in the tunnel. So I think it's a very interesting part, and that's why I had did this video about the ventriloquist dummy, and maybe this might be able to get our minds jogging a little bit to think about the conundrum of this dummy real quick, because I don't really know what it means. I know from previous videos of Tony, he said that the ventriloquist dummy belonged to Christopher, which is possible, because he said that Christopher used to make people laugh, and Tony saying that that possibly was going on with this dummy. That's why they would have pretty much say that kind of vaguely, that he used to make people laugh. He didn't. He said he used to smile a lot, and then he stopped smiling. So he didn't really get into how he made people laugh. Did he tell jokes? Like, what about this guy made people laugh? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this real quick. Let me know what you guys think about this video. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this one real quick. Hold on, give me a minute. Real Enigmas and Theories is back again with another video. It was May 13th, 2023. I decided to get on YouTube and make a page and drop some of my thoughts about the TV show called From. I did the video and released my first video on May 14th. Being of Native American heritage, a history buff, and somewhat of an esoteric philosopher, this show spoke to me in a unique way. Not only the enigmatic posture of the show, but the slightly humorous nature of the series reached out to my sense of humor, which I've been displaying in some of my videos. This series opens up the doors for various types of theorizers to dig into, from the surface all the way down to the tunnels. Let's get into some of the clues that I believe that point to ancient magic, events in American history which created this place, and possible bloodline family tree ties with current and ancestral association. So without further ado, let's jump in. And after we sort through a few things, I will tell you who I think is in the cart and give you a prediction for the next season. So I'll start with the most obvious pattern of clues to me, which is the presence of Native American magic or sorcery. The Native American symbolism stood out to me like a big dude at the pool party getting in the water with his t-shirt on. From the character wardrobe to the actual filming location of the show in Nova Scotia. I've been speaking about these nuances since my first video, and the show continued to confirm my theory from episode 1 all the way to the last episode. Native American medicine wheels can be seen all over Frumland, even within the tunnels where it was revealed to Jade that the children were laying on a circle of stones. Khatri meditated within a circle of stones, where he buried items he brought to town with him. Even the infamous box sat in the middle of a circle of stones and was essentially a place of sacrifice and punishment. Also, at the choosing ceremony, a rock and a flower are placed within a circle of stones. And that choosing rite wouldn't even be possible if not for the next clue, which is the talisman. On them, you can see a figure sitting legs crossed or Indian style in the center. And the F symbols, if all converge to the center, make a spider web, which brings us to another notion about this clue that is the actual core of this sentiment, and that's the ancient Native American grandmother spider deity. Her themes are enchanted items and growth. Her symbols are woven items and spiders. The spider motif has been in the show since episode 1, when Ethan told everyone about his dream in the RV. We see spiders in Victor's drawings. Boyd and Sarah were taken to spider webs, and Boyd was bitten by the spider. Also, a group of spiders is called a colony. So there's Colony House. We have plenty of Native American style print in the wardrobe and many woven items as well. Donna's gift to Fatima was a dream catcher, and we see other dream catchers around Colony House. We even have a shamanic succession ritual with Victor and Ethan, which I go into depth in my video called Ethan the Shaman. By the way, when you watch that video, keep in mind that Ethan still has that staff with him. Kenny even mentions to Christy about being a thread in a sweater. There's another woven item. Elgin also shared his story about his grandmother teaching him to crochet, which is a form of weaving. And this clue points directly to the grandmother spider deity. I actually pointed out the grandmother spider deity before that episode even aired. So when I saw Elgin sitting there talking about crocheting with his grandmother, you already know I was hyped and took out my notepad right away. Elgin is also seen teaching Tilly how to crochet, and she's also a grandmother. But peep this, I'm sure that when he taught her, he had to instruct her on how to complete a tabby, which is the easiest and most basic stitch to create. Tabby is also the short nickname for Tabitha. And speaking of Tilly, she is also who we see doing a rain dance, which is also a Native American trope. And as I stated before, the filming location, Nova Scotia, is home to the Micmac tribe, whose actual symbol is the grandmother spider deity and the dream catcher. There are more Native American motifs throughout the show as well. And that brings us to another possible element in our clues that could be responsible for creating Frumland and could perhaps tie at least. Hey, yo, I'm just going to go ahead and find the ventriloquist dummy part. Hold on. Okay. Where is the ventriloquist part at? Yeah. Okay, let's go. Residence by Donna. Also, the voice on the radio. It's Donna who suggests to keep that a secret as well. Communication. Communication is something that the residents of this town seem not to have any concept of whatsoever. However, communicating with the dead or voices from another place is something that happens more often than the residents actually sharing information with each other. Now, communicating with voices from another place or communicating with the dead is known as necromancy. Jim and Jade's radio, Boyd's communication with Abby and Cautry, Victor, Ethan, Tabitha, and Sarah seeing the boy in white, Sarah hearing voices, Tabitha and the mangy kids, all forms of necromancy. In fact, seeing this quick still shot from season 2 in the season 3 trailer reminds me that ventriloquism has its origins in necromancy. Although in the current times, ventriloquism is familiar to most as entertainment, its origins are far from an episode of Lamb Chop's Play Along. Even though the show From is kind of like the song that never ends, ventriloquists, or engastrament, were people believed to have demons or spirits in their stomach and could speak from the belly. Engaster, the stomach, and mythos, meaning words or speech. Even the word ventriloquist comes from the Latin words venter, meaning belly, and loque, meaning to speak from the belly. And speaking of the belly, season 2, episode 7 was entitled Belly of the Beast. In that episode, Donna claimed to know that the food shortage would be minor and temporary. Does she have knowledge of an impending massacre that would solve that problem? Anyway, gastromancy was an ancient practice of the Greeks and Romans to perform necromancy and fortune telling. And even today, ventriloquism is used to make something that is not alive appear to be alive. Ventriloquism began to transition into entertainment in the 16th century, and Louis Brabant became the first known ventriloquist while serving as the valet to the French King Francis I. Although ventriloquist figures or dummies had not become a thing yet, I do find it noteworthy that this ventriloquist dummy on the show appeared to our French character Jade Herrera, and I'm curious to see how this thing comes into play. So there it is, my prediction for who is in the cart, an overview of my theory, along with... Okay, so there's one thing for sure about the ventriloquist dummy is that it is a definite call to necromancy. Even when you look at a ventriloquist dummy, you're making something that is not alive speak and act as if it is alive. A lot of times people would name their ventriloquist dummies after an actual person, and kind of the first ventriloquist dummies were actually supposed to be children. As a matter of fact, the very first ventriloquist dummy was believed to have been an actual child whose body was used to create this dummy. It had real hair. It had it was the size of a child. It wasn't like your average ventriloquist dummy. It looked like an 8-year-old kid. It was pretty big. But yeah, to speak on that. Okay. Taran, you still there with me? I see your mic is muted.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yo, shout out to Julie in the chat. Shout out to the sister Chocolate Beauty. Hey, cousin, how you doing? Good to see you in here as always. Julie B is in the building as well. Julie started a channel, and she's going to be putting up some content soon. And she's going to be covering From and a variety of other shows. So I think it's called Julie B Dives In, if I'm not right. Julie, you got the wrench by your name. You could definitely drop your link in the chat. I don't mind that at all. Drop your link to the channel, your channel in the chat so that people can go subscribe to Julie. We got a super chat. All mod cons. Real, thanks for featuring Taran. His theories are so interesting. You guys are great together. Well, thank you for your generosity in the super chat. And Taran's always welcome here. You know, Taran is definitely the brother, and we've been rocking on these From theories ever since we connected. and we speak a lot more often now. He's on the channel a lot, and we love having him over here. Most definitely, Taran. You know what I'm saying? You definitely appreciate it over here and
Thank you, Real.
welcome at all times. You know what I mean? We love Taran's theory. We love Taran's. A lot of people refer to it as the tarot card theory. You know, I would attribute the alien fourth dimensional being theory to Tony Teflon. Um, and my theory would be the indigenous struggles of American history. Terrence theory digs into that as well, and that's kind of like how we click. And
Mm.
Tony's just a fellow creator who's also a brother that we rock with. Jeremy Ice and Fire, dope channel. You got E-Man, his channel's crazy. Love his channel. He covers a lot of Marvel stuff, comic book stuff, that make it to live action. His channel is great. Also, we got the movie blog. He has a great channel. Anthony at the movie blog. His channel's real dope. I think Anthony's channel's dope. Go check him out too, because I think he has like early access on all of the episodes. And he does a great job at releasing commentary on the episodes without spoiling anything. So shout out to his channel. What are some other channels? You got Geek Academy. I haven't reached out to him or haven't heard back from him yet, but or heard from him yet. I heard that he was supposed to be reaching out to me. I don't know. I haven't heard from him, but his channel's dope as well. Um, you got the TV Theory sister just dropped a video with the theory different. She kind of like switched speeds on her theories a little bit, but her theories are fire nonetheless. You also have the movie Guru. His channel's dope. He does a lot of interviews. He actually interviewed Taran, and he's interviewed a lot of the same actors on the show that Tony has. So it's pretty dope to get like, some decent um feedback from the actors in those two different ways. So go check out their interviews and stuff like that. So, shout out all of the channels. If I miss a channel, oh, the Nautilus Files. The Nautilus Files does great work. He does a lot of stuff on Severance. And he does From as well. He actually mentioned put my name on one of his videos for being the one to find the soundbite clip. I wish he would have spoke my name. That would have been cooler. But we take what we can get. Shout out to his page as well. All those pages. And I'm mentioning all these pages because you guys, it's all about the community. Like the community comes first. And all of these great creators definitely do a good job at keeping us busy and giving us some content to watch while we're on the off season waiting on the show to come back. So check out everybody, show some love. You know what I mean? This community is a tight, positive community. And show some love to all of the channels. Again, Julie B Dives In is the name of her channel. Go check it out. Like I said, Julie, feel free to put your link in there. Also, if y'all have the link to my Discord, the Real Enigmas and Theories Discord, please drop that link in the chat so that people can go ahead and join our Discord and keep the conversation going in between lives. So yeah.
If I may also thank all mod cons for her comment, for saying my theories are interesting as well. Thank you very much. Real, I've probably only got about 20 minutes, 25 minutes left with you. So I was thinking we could jump into the Google
Docs and the Google stuff.
Yeah, so let me just find that and see if here we go.
You can present.
Yeah, I'll present. I just need to get it open. Oh, come on. Here we
Okay, so
go.
while you do that, I want to ask you some things about the bootstrap paradox real quick. That way we
Okay.
get that out the way, and then we can go into these actors and actresses. Okay, so the bootstrap paradox. Now, what is what? So, are you saying that a bootstrap paradox is when an item is recreated to be an item that was once seen from a past time?
Yeah, so it's basically a causal loop. So it's where an object causes itself to be created by time traveling. Which is like, so which was first, the original or the copy is generally the question, because if one copies the other and then becomes the other, which was first, because it would never have existed if there wasn't one to copy, if that makes sense. There are other ways of doing a bootstrap paradox, but that's the simplest bootstrap paradox. Um, so in order for this to be the case, Tabitha's bracelet needs to travel back in time and then eventually make its way to the point that it was created, and then she would need to copy it from somewhere. Or she would need to get or the bracelet would need to become Jim's dad's bootlaces in Fromland, and then become the bracelet again later, potentially.
Okay.
But the most likely scenario is that Tabitha copied the bracelet from someone, and considering Miranda is the last person seen wearing it, and Eloise is the person in the real world, and we know that she basically followed Miranda 30 seconds later, it's most likely that what's going to happen is Jim's going to time travel to 1978. He's going to give Miranda his bracelet. Miranda's bracelet then goes to Eloise. Eloise returns to the real world. She becomes an adult. Tabitha copies her bracelet for whatever reason. If you don't think Eloise is Tabitha's mom, then at the very least, Tabitha copied Eloise's bracelet for some reason. Or,
Mhm.
or, um, or Eloise's bracelet somehow ends up becoming Jim's dad's bootlaces is the only other scenario. But I think
Okay.
I think the bracelet is too short and has been adapted too much to go from bootlaces to bracelet to bootlaces, if that makes sense.
Okay,
So
so now
yeah.
in my thoughts about the bootstrap paradox were that the bootstrap paradox is when an item it becomes fixed in a space of multiple timelines to where it actually has no original designer, if that makes sense. Like a paradox is pretty much like a contradiction. Like, so this bracelet is a contradiction, right? Because how the hell did Victor's mother have a bracelet on that wasn't even made yet? So that this means that this item is contradicting itself. Like, in okay, so then you have that grandfather paradox. Like, for instance, let's say you make a time machine, or no, let's say you wake up in the morning, you go outside, and at your front door there's a box with a book in it, which this book is a design for a time machine. It's not a time machine, but it's the design for the time machine. Now, you take the book and you build the time machine based on what this book tells you to do. And then you go back in time and you go give yourself this book. So now what happens is the the book itself becomes a contradiction. Did I make this book? Did I make this book because did I make this time machine because I got the book, or did I read the book because I made the time machine? You see what I'm saying? So this
Yeah.
item becomes like the contradiction. Now, this is where me and you kind of clash on this bracelet. This bracelet is probably the biggest mystery on the show. The reason why is because it poses the biggest question. How the hell did it get in the storage room? And how the hell did it get at the top of all those bracelets and charms and shit that were there? It was right at the top. Tabitha didn't have to dig down deep for it. It was just conveniently placed right there, almost like it was placed right there for her to find it. And so your theory is that this is not the same bracelet. Your theory is that Tabitha saw this bracelet and tried to duplicate the bracelet.
No, in my theory, they are still the same bracelet.
Okay.
She's
Okay. See now.
copying the same bracelet that she's making. It's just that that bracelet has time traveled, and so she's copying the bracelet that she made herself. That she's copying the bracelet that she's in the process of making. That's the paradox, and it's like she would never have made the bracelet if she wasn't copying the bracelet she was making. It's a very like that's the paradox. It doesn't make sense. Like which came first, the one she's copying or the one she's making? Because technically they're the same.
Okay, so that's where it hangs up for me at, because you you're like you're saying that she saw the bracelet before and that's what she's copying.
I guess technically it could be she could have just glimpsed it somewhere else, but yeah, I mean, yeah, ultimately she's copying the bracelet from Eloise's. She's got to be copying the bracelet from Eloise or from someone Eloise gave the bracelet to. That's literally the only way it works.
Okay, Bank Run makes a good point. He says that she wouldn't have never made the bracelet if she didn't get inspired to make one. That's a good point, and that leads credence to what Taran is saying. I'm saying that it's the same bracelet, and here's the hang up for me is that I don't think she's copying a bracelet. I don't think that she's copying anything that she says. Oh, yo, Parkland Media. Parkland Media, I definitely have to and he also said that Parkland Media did a video comparing the voice with Tom Payne's voice with the voice on the radio, and they sound the same. Very dope. Yo, Parkland Media, charge it to the head and not to my heart, because I definitely was trying to get everybody in there. And Parkland Media is definitely one that y'all got to go check out. He does really dope videos. He was the first person to shout me out when I caught the sound bite, which, that's really dope. I love that. And the fact that he went back and got Tom Payne's voice and put it with the voice on the radio, that's amazing. I definitely got to go check out his video. I wish I would have caught that. But the hang up for me, okay, so back to the hang up. The hang up for me about the bootstrap paradox and the bracelet is that the bracelet was lost after Tabitha made the bracelet. And so I'm thinking that when the bracelet was lost, that's where the time travel had to come in for it to end up on Victor's mother's wrist or either Eloise's wrist. I think that Victor's memories are unreliable, and I think that he has forgotten that his mom was not the one wearing the bracelet, because if you look right here, even in this picture, he has the color of her sweater wrong. He has the color of Eloise's sweater wrong, and we know that because we get to see the actual color. Hold on. Hold up. Uh I just had it up over here. Okay, here it is. Okay, so we see this her sweater here. Okay, and it's definitely a different color in the pictures in the hallway where Tabitha is standing there with Henry. Um Now the ages of everybody, I think that we are semi lukewarm on just going by the actor's actual age. Um, but it gives us a little bit of idea. But like I said, the bootstrap paradox I think comes in where what I think happens, and this is all totally theory.
Yeah,
What
go
I
for it.
think what I think happens is that Eloise has some sort of dreams that she can see things in different time periods. Um, there is evidence of that as well. The evidence is when Julie, I mean, say, not Julie, but the evidence is when Eloise, we go down and we see Tabitha in the basement. Eloise's drawings or her paintings are of Tabitha's vision of the gooey kids in on the side of the road. How would she have known what Tabitha's vision was? How would she have known what Tabitha's vision was? And how would she have drawn these images and known what that was? So I think that she has some sort of power where she can go in her dreams and find certain things. Here it is. Eloise's sweater is definitely like a red tint. It's clearly
Yes,
red.
it's browner in that image, although it's pretty dark in the in the root cellar, and they may have color graded
Wow, it was
the.
right next to it, yo. I'm bugging. Okay, so
Oh, you went the wrong way.
yeah, I was doing it was right
No
next to
way.
it. But
I don't know,
but
man. I think that maybe it's just a bit dark in that root cellar. I don't think it's that far off, but I can see what you're saying.
it's really off. It's
Uh,
really off.
I
Like
disagree. I disagree.
it's really off. Look at that. Look at that and look at this. Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if that's a
Yo,
thing.
is the color off? Is the color off, yo?
I don't know, man. I think you're bugging a little bit on this one.
No,
You know,
I was bugging because the picture was right next to it, but I'm not bugging on the theory, and 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 that's why the picture is right next to it because I knew I was like, yo, these two right here, this is clearly two different colors here.
all
You
right.
know,
I
I
don't know,
don't think it
man. I
now.
think if they were gonna do that, they'd pick like red and blue or something.
Okay, now see here's I don't know because the thing in my mind is this here. If this is a color grading that uh to specify that Victor was having some sort of memory. Why didn't they do color grading when he had the memory of the people and when he had his flashback? And he was obviously remembering that because it was right after he shot the gun in the woods. He went back home and looked at the pictures of the dogs and he had a memory flashback. And it was the color was pristine. There was nothing wrong with the color.
I
So
I just don't know if they're gonna be like, hey guys, look, it was dark brown instead of dark gray. I
yo,
don't know.
shout out to Chocolate Beauty, gifted 5 Real Enigmas and Theories memberships. Give yourselves a round of applause if you just got one of those, and also thank Chocolate Beauty. Celebrate with some of those beautiful emojis that we have down there. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Chocolate Beauty, for your generosity and bringing some more people onto the fold with the memberships. Yes.
Real,
If
can
you
I share my screen and
yes.
we could go through the actors.
Yes, I'm with it. Go ahead.
Let me just. Oh my god.
Alyssa's in the building. We got CA 1983 in the building. Jessica's in the building with us. Miss T is here. Good to see all of you. Yeah, yeah, Bank Run. Yeah. They was right next to each other. I did all that walking and talking. It was right there. And see, the reason why they were right there is is because of that whole theory that I think Victor's memories are unreliable. Um, oh, you know what? They weren't right next to each other. See? Yo, I had this one. Because these are the ones I was going back and forth with before. Okay, so I had another one. Here's the other one that I was okay, see? Yeah, I wasn't using the same one, so I wasn't bugging. I just went the wrong way. I just went the wrong way in trying to find it. You got your screen ready?
Yeah, I
Thanks,
think so.
Chuckle Beauty. Is it okay? Here it is. I see it.
All right, let's have a look. Can you see this?
Yes, I can.
All right, so we know that Kenny's actor Ricky He deleted something like 20 Instagram posts,
Yeah, I remember that.
all at the same time.
All at the same time in the same time. Yeah,
And
I
this
remember that.
included posts that had obvious clues to from, like literally he'd photoshopped like his face over another character's face so you couldn't tell who it was, and showed like a behind the scenes shot or an early promo shot or something. And that got deleted as well. So what and the other interesting thing is that Ricky and Jim are the two characters from the season 3 trailer that look like they go on a journey somewhere. And obviously, in the descriptions, we know that Ricky leads a search party. And I wonder if after his mum dies, he decides to go on a second journey with Jim, and that's when they come across the hoodoo dolls. But either way, Kenny's also. I mean, Ricky, he is also a young and very sociable actor. He's very. He uses Instagram a lot. So I wonder, and I think, Real, you think this too. I wonder if John Griffin and the creators were like, look, too many of the new actors in season 3 are interacting with you on Instagram in your latest posts, and you need to delete them. Otherwise, people are going to realize these guys are coming on season 3. So these are the people that seem to be interacting with Ricky the most. And some of them I have, and not just Ricky, but other actors on the show, mutual friendships with multiple actors. So, for example, Devante is friends with 11 of the, he's friends with the actress who plays Sarah, the actress who plays, oh my God, I always forget her name, but the Alabaster Dragon Rider, Harold Perrineau, Trudy, and then look here, Elgin. This lady, I'm pretty sure is she's friends with a bunch of people on the show. So anyway, like a whole bunch of actors from the show. This is I don't know why who all these people are, but I follow them because they're involved in From in some way, in my opinion. So anyway. I think that this may be one of the new characters that we see on the show. This one is Real's Find, I think. Is it this one?
Yes, that's one of them.
Tanedra. Yeah, so she also, is friends with a whole bunch of the young actors. This girl, Alex, I don't know why she's here she is. She is definitely coming up on the show. She comments on From people's posts more than anyone, basically. So this girl, Tanedra, I'll skim through some of her photographs, and the people liking her posts. You can see Tanedra. You can see. Oh, and this girl Grace potentially could be on the show as well. So I'll skim through her. But yeah, so look here. Here, the guy who plays Ellis is liking her posts. So and here she's in. I think she's in Nova Scotia here, 20 weeks ago, doing a beach photo shoot.
Okay.
So and yeah, maybe I don't know. But I believe that she's on the show based on some of the social media interactions that she's been doing. So I'll close her.
Who do you think she's gonna play?
I think she's going to
Let's start off at the other guy. Who do you think the other guy is gonna play? The first guy that you showed.
I have no idea, to be honest. I know that somebody is going to have a big role playing Caroline die, she would be a teenager or sort of early 20s in 1869, which is when I think we're going to time travel to. So I think that Ricky He and Jim time travel in the very last episodes of season 3 to the 1860s, and we're going to meet a whole bunch of new characters. So anyway, so this is, and I think Tanedra potentially could play Caroline Dye, but we'll see. So look at this lady. She is followed by 21 members of the cast and production crew. She is an actor, and she comments on the From like hairdressers posts. She comments on the From's makeup crews posts. Look how many people who are involved on the show like her latest post alone here. So it may be that these are just actor friends, who have met during during their travels or during their acting careers. But I think it's possible. Oh yeah, and she definitely has been on the From set, because she commented on a behind the scenes photo that one of the makeup artists shared, talking about the set as if she'd been there. So unless she's like a production assistant as well as an actor in some way, I think that we're going to meet this lady, Alexandra McDonald, as a character on the show as well. Who's next? This girl, Grace, I'm not 100% sure. Again, she's got some mutual friends. I thought maybe, but it doesn't. She doesn't put that she's an actor in her profile, so we don't know for sure. But I've seen her around. This lady, she's actually more of an actor and a stand-up comedian, but she also seems to be friends with a whole bunch of people on the. She's followed by all sorts of people on the show, including Smiley. Now, and she doesn't have that many followers. She's only got 3,000 followers. So why would 14 people involved in the show, involved in From, follow her? And she even did a post at some point. I can't find it right now, but she basically says like what she did in 2024. And one of the things she said she did was she was an actor in a TV show, but she can't share what the show is yet, but she's super excited to tell everyone about it. So I wonder if she has a special skill like juggling or dancing or something that they needed her for, and that's why someone who isn't traditionally an actor has been hired for this. Maybe there's a time travel portion of Fromland with some entertainers, and she is one of them, singing, dancing, juggling, whatever, cabaret, not sure. But I believe that she's on the show. She's very active on Instagram, and that's probably why so many people who are involved in the show follow her. This actor is very close friends with Simon and Eli. Now, I know the child acting community in Canada is probably pretty tight-knit, so this doesn't mean anything. But several of the young actors that are on From, they follow this young gentleman here. And I'm not sure... Oh, and this is the makeup. This is the girl who does the hair and makeup on the From set, this lady, Tony Chop. And she follows him too. So, and I found it interesting that he posted an image of Stephen King's house recently as well. Although he says he just happened to be driving by and he stopped for a photograph. But I think if they are going to add another child actor onto From, this guy potentially is a solid guess as to who it might be. And finally, this guy, Talijah Buckets, he is an actor. He is friends with several of the people that I think might end up on the show. But again, the young actor community in Canada is probably pretty tight. So it's possible that he knows these actors, these people potentially involved in the show. He knows them from the acting circuit in Toronto, or the acting school he went to, or maybe they were both on did a theater production together early in their careers. Although they are pretty young, so it would have to be, as teenagers. But yeah, that's who I think is going to potentially be on the show. And then I also want to say, if I had to guess who is going to be playing Eloise, it would be this lady here, Megan Follows, and she is actually followed by Liz Saunders, by a by the lady who plays Miranda. And isn't that interesting that the actress who plays Miranda is following an actress who could play her daughter Eloise, potentially? I found that pretty interesting. And I think potentially this guy here, Samer Salem, he's another person that seems to have some mutual friendships with people involved on the show.
Is that this lady right here?
Which one? Sorry.
Oh, you
I
can't
can't.
see.
I can't see your screen.
Okay,
Um,
keep your screen there. Hold on. This lady.
yes, that's her. Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see her playing Eloise. She looks like her grandmother or mother, and she definitely looks like that's how Eloise would look like if she grew up.
Yeah, and she is a very experienced actor, and I think the role of Eloise is a huge role. Now she has 220K followers, so the fact that four Canadian actors that I think are involved in the show, I mean, some we know are involved in the show, Sarah Booth and Elizabeth Saunders. But if I had to, if and they've even used the word follow and follows on the show quite a few times, although I'm not sure. I think that might be coincidence. But yeah, if I had to guess who's going to play Eloise, I would say it's this lady, Megan Follows. Most of the actors on the show are Canadian, and I believe that the way the show is filmed, there's a great deal of tax benefits that they receive from hiring Canadian actors who are part of a certain acting like union. So Harold Perrineau is like way more expensive tax wise to use as an actor on From than other actors. But obviously, they've made an exception for him because he's kind of the star of the show. But I wonder whether they were like, look, we should try and hire a big Canadian actor, just like Liz Saunders, who's also very experienced. So yeah, I have a good feeling about this being Eloise in season 3. So we'll have to see about that. And then yeah, this guy's Samer Salem. Sorry if I've butchered his name. He also seems to have some mutual acquaintances that I suspect might be on the show. But again, it's this acting community. Actors are far more likely to follow other actors, because that's their career, that's their livelihood. But I could see this guy potentially being a character in like the 1978 version of Fromland or something. Who knows? But yeah, that's about it. That's it for who I think could be on the show. But I thought I would share with everyone, and you definitely found a couple of these real as well, just so everyone knows.
Yeah. We were doing. We have a whole Google document full of emojis and you really posted a lot of stuff in there, Taran. You really dove into that seriously, like.
Yeah, I
I
spent a
can't take
while.
credit for most of that. Like you definitely dove into that,
I felt
and
like a stalker. I'm not gonna lie. I felt kind of bad while I was doing it because
yeah,
I
we
was
were
like,
both kind of Instagram stalking the whole crew and going through who's and what's. And when you found when I seen the ones that you found, I said, man, I recognize that one. Yeah, I saw that one too. And I was saying to myself, man, I think Taryn is on to something with this, especially with this right here. Yo, that Does this not look like Eloise grown up, y'all? Like, and this woman is actually friends with a lot of the personnel on From, along with the actors as well.
Now,
Um,
Will, I have a question for you. Would
sure.
you? I know you don't think that Tabitha. I know you don't think that Eloise is Tabitha's mom, but setting that aside for a moment, do you think she could play Tabitha's mom?
Ooh, that's a good question. Uh, yes, she could totally play Tabitha's mom.
Like if Tabitha's dad was a
She's a
Colombian
little
man.
too young to be Tabitha's mom.
I mean, I've in order for Eloise to be Tabitha's mom, she would have had to have had Tabitha at the age of 15, 16. So it would
Yeah,
have to be a teenage pregnancy. I admit that. They would have to be a teenage pregnancy in order for um for this to be true. However, in the origin story of From, the character of Bridget of York, the historical figure, supposedly had a teenage pregnancy. Yes, that we did have a bet, Chicago made gaming in a way. If I drag Real all the way to Newfoundland, we do a massive tour of Newfoundland. He drives everywhere. We make a documentary about our trip to Newfoundland, and then Newfoundland is completely unrelated to the show in any way. I will give Real $1,000 to thank him for his time to make a documentary about my theory that was totally wrong. So, in a way, we have a bet, but for me, it's really a way of compensating Real for his time. If I've dragged him to Newfoundland and it's ended up not being worth it for him in terms of filming footage. I mean, I think it'll be an interesting trip nonetheless. There's actually very few videos on YouTube of people doing trips to Newfoundland. And I think it actually might become quite a popular video in its own right. But generally speaking, yeah. If it, I mean, obviously the show needs to end, or we need to get a pretty good indication of what if we never find out how From ends, for God forbid, obviously then that bet can't be concluded. But yeah, I guess I would call it a bet, but it's really more just me saying sorry, Real, for dragging you out to Newfoundland. Speaking of trips, Real and I are considering actually later this month doing a trip to Providence. It's not 100% yet, but actually Julie lives in about an hour from Providence. By the way, Real.
yeah, I know she's a Rhode Island girl.
Yeah. So she said she would love to, only if like timing and other things allow. But she said maybe she would join us on a live after season three's premiere comes out. So
Yes,
if we time it right, we could be in Rhode Island with Julie in a cafe, having just watched From on like a laptop, um, and then like literally breaking it down, all of us actually physically in the same space together, recording from someone's phone or someone's laptop or something.
yes,
So potentially, we could go to Providence. We're just like researching how much like flights will be for and like car rental and stuff would be.
yeah.
But yeah, we would
And
go to Camden and Providence, I think was the plan.
Camden and Providence, yes. And
Just one
speaking of
weekend.
trips, the Newfoundland trip that we're going on in June, we have extended out the date to when we're going to go. We're going to make it easier. The weather's going to be a lot easier on us. We won't be caught in the middle of trying to create content for From. The season will be over, and so everything is going to be great. This is my point. Like, creating the documentary is going to be great in itself. I mean, we're going to get a lot of dope footage, even if Newfoundland has nothing to do with From whatsoever. Like, we'll still have a good opportunity to create a dope documentary and bring back to the people, definitely.
And
And
we'll
if
be
you
tying
want,
everything back to From, won't we? Like we'll be like live streaming while we're driving, talking about From while we're driving, that sort of thing.
and if you want to donate to that trip, I have created a PayPal link. Um, Let me see if I can make the link. I'll post it. I'll pin the link. Let me get that, pin that link real quick. Pin the link to the PayPal donations. It's the Newfoundland trip donation bed. And also you can donate via Cash App at $Real Enigma. Um, and you could also drop a super chat, buy a membership. All the proceeds from the YouTube channel, super chats, membership, super thanks, they all go towards the trip as well. We have raised over $500. We have about $530 that we've raised in super chats and memberships and super thanks that have gone to the channel. The goal is 3,500. It's gonna happen regardless. It doesn't matter. Like we're gonna get it. We're gonna go anyway. So, but I would just definitely love to see the support of the community for this and to bring back the documentary. We're gonna do a segment in the documentary about the town of Gander. So that's gonna be dope, fire as well.
Mm.
So
And Real's gonna help me. I'm writing up like a full theory. It's literally like 12,000 words at this point, or like 15,000 words. And it doesn't include any clues or any clue solving. It's literally just all my predictions for what we're going to see in the coming seasons. Like all the characters, the objects, the artifacts, how this world works. You know that, and I'm gonna be helping fund your trip by hiring you to help me put that video together. So that'll be cool as well.
yes, indeed. What I'm gonna do the editing work for Taran's project in his theory video, and those proceeds will also go towards the goal as well. Thank you, Alyssa, for donating a membership. And if you got that membership, if you were gifted that membership, definitely thank Alyssa. Definitely thank Chocolate Beauty for getting memberships, and welcome all the new members as well. I gotta get smooth with it to where I can like name the members and all of that stuff. I'm not as I think I know how to get them pulled up somewhere in the YouTube studio, but when I start getting on that, I will definitely do so. I think it'd be
Real, can I
yes,
ask your opinion on something?
sure.
Um, I was thinking maybe when we do these trips to like the United different areas of the United States and Newfoundland and stuff, maybe we can share our itinerary about where we're going to be, and that would allow anyone who's a fan of your channel to come and join us at meetups, you know? So we can say, you know, we're going to be in this town on this day, you know, we're going to be in Gander on this day, you know, doing stuff in Gander, and then if someone who loves the show watches your channel is in Gander, they can come along and like, you know, grab a coffee with us. We'll do a quick video to put on the put on the documentary and stuff.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no problem. Like we could even do that like when we go to
Rhode Island.
Providence, yeah.
Yeah.
And have some people swing through if you are in the area. I don't know how many Canadians I have on the page. I know I got a couple.
Well, here's the thing.
I have somebody that's part of the Micmac tribe on here. I
Oh,
wish
that's
she would
cool.
if she's in the live, yo, like holla at us real quick. But I know she jumps in the comments from time to time. She loves the content.
Oh, I would
And
love to interview somebody who's like knowledgeable about Micmac folklore. I think
yes,
that would be an
I would
amazing
love
part
to
of the
make a
documentary.
connection with her. She also said, you know, the little puzzle that Tabitha and Ethan were playing with on the porch and whatnot. She said that there are the Inukshooks. She said that
Yeah.
those shits are all over like the area where they're filming at.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Cool.
said that they're
Very
everywhere.
cool. Very
But yes,
cool.
indeed. Those uh those Instagram pages, the possible y'all saw that here. Taryn definitely broke that down to y'all. So if we start seeing some of these people, the methodology that we're using to figure some of these things out are definitely working, and it would kind of give some validity to the theories. I don't know. Do you think? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. But before you go, Taryn, I definitely would like to hear you talk about the Stephen King situation and the show that he's filming on the set of From as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, so Harold Perrineau recently did an interview of the Waking the Dead podcast, and he let something slip, and he even said, "Oh man, I hope that's not a secret. I think it's public information." And then he like moved on very quickly. So he mentioned that Stephen King is currently filming with Jack Bender on the From set in Halifax for Stephen King's new TV series. And interestingly, I found out on Reddit, someone posted that the From set was full of cars, like 40 cars were there. And I was like, oh my god, they're filming season 4. And then someone who works on both productions commented saying that it was for a new TV series that's being filmed on the same set. So From is saving money by having a different show filmed on the set at the same time, like in between seasons. Because they film in the winter now, that means in the summer, Stephen King can film the I think it's called the Institute. So doesn't that make it more likely that we're going to see Stephen King make a cameo on the show, as I've predicted, where he will give Tabitha and Eloise on their quest a red book, a red-skinned book, probably kind of leathery, with like Norse Viking symbols in it, and a diary written in the margins by a French memoirist called Philippe de Comines. If that happens, I've solved the show, but we'll have to see. Um,
Yo, that's real. Like if he pops up, I mean, you definitely knew. You said he was gonna pop up before a lot of stuff. Now, the crazy part is you didn't just like put two and two together by like knowing that Jack Bender and Stephen King are really good friends. They work together on other things. They talk a lot. They're friends. That's not, pardon me. That's not how you put that together. You
no, it's
literally
not.
you literally put that together through your methodology with the breadcrumbs, and also figuring out that there's a red book that's going to be passed around. And
Yeah,
Stephen King is not just something that you just pulled out of your ass for a theory. It actually fits the narrative. You believe that Tabitha will receive something from Stephen King, or actually meet and speak to Stephen King. I want to
yeah.
say thank you, and thank you for your generosity. Dizzy Guy Explores. Looks like he has a pretty interesting YouTube channel over there with looks like a GoPro hooked up and somebody's exploring. I wonder if that YouTube it has some good traveling and going on adventures and stuff. Thank you for your generosity, Dizzy Guy. If you received one of those memberships, definitely thank Dizzy Guy and give yourself a round of applause for receiving that membership. I know those things are random, and it's kind of dope that they're random because we never know who's going to be added onto the crew. You know what I'm saying? Thanks again, Dizzy Guy. We appreciate that. Those proceeds go towards the trip as well. Taran and I will be going to Newfoundland and looking at some artifacts if we can find them. Also going to some museums, checking out some of the sites, and basically doing an expose about these settlers coming to Newfoundland and how it relates to the show. There's going to be a lot of show stuff in there too. So it's not just going to be like this boring history documentary. It's going to have the references to the show, how these things happen, and it's going to be mostly connecting to Terran's theory. So I just think that it was a great idea. I'm so honored that he invited me on this trip. And I also am with him when he says that it would be so dope to have pictures by some of these spots before this information actually comes out on the show. So I believe him on that. As far as Newfoundland being where the first Europeans actually met Native Americans, which was the Belthock tribe. So yeah, shout out to that. Again, if you
Thank
want
you.
to donate, the link has been posted up there. My mods have been doing a wonderful job. I thank all of you, and I respect and love all of you guys for everything you do. Greeting all of the people when they come in, dropping links in the chat as well. Julie, drop your link in there. Again, I'm gonna leave that posted at the top for a little while so that you can get that. Oh, we got another 5 Real Enigmas and Theories memberships gifted by Saggy Star. Thank you very much for your generosity. You know where the dough is going, so we're trying to make this trip happen. And I appreciate all of the love that I'm receiving from the fandom to help make this trip happen and bring something dope back to the community. I think that this trip is going to be dope regardless if this stuff ends up in from or not. We will have some great information to bring back to you guys. And that is why I want to connect it to Taran's theory, because if we connect it to Taran's theory, it's a good read anyway. Like, Taran has put a lot of work behind his theory. Taran's a professional book author, and he gets paid a lot of money for his time, and he spent a lot of time working on this in the fandom with us. He enjoys it. He is stuck in this city or this town just as we are, along with the residents of From. But yes, again, thank you for those memberships. We got a lot of
Will,
people.
may I share my screen for a moment?
Absolutely. Here you go.
All right, sweet. So just so you guys can understand, the way that I traced, the way that I got to Stephen King is actually by following this path here. So I know that Leonardo da Vinci distributes various artifacts from the origin story of From to various people, and then these artifacts are passed across time, inspiring the arts and dreams and work and success of many artists, philosophers, inventors, writers, actors, that sort of thing. And this is the one that leads to Stephen King. So they use keywords and like phrases lifted from the like poetry and stories of these people, and like the titles of the works that they wrote, and you can literally trace this path across time. And one of the most important ones is going to be H.P. Lovecraft, which is why we're going to Providence. Another really important one is Victor Hugo here. That's the actual reason why Victor is called Victor. It's a clue to Victor Hugo. Victor Hugo makes up a huge part of the show. Jules Verne and H.G. Wells are actually why there's spaceship references on the show, I think. And Lewis Carroll, who did Alice in Wonderland, is also a huge part of this chain. And when you follow this chain to its conclusion, like you've even got Alfred and Alma Hitchcock in this, which is why they use the word psycho and psychopath all the time, and why the goat is called Alma. Well, actually, there's several reasons why the goat's called Alma. But continuing, and Carl Jung is even a part of this chain. And I'm not making this up. Every single one of these people, other than like William Wordsworth and Victor Hugo, they like most of these people knew each other, and those that didn't know each other did like cross paths in a way, in that they were in the same country at the same time for several years and could have met in the literary circles of that time. But
Okay.
there's no like
I,
record of it. So,
I
and it
want you
led
to answer
to
this
Stephen King.
question. See that question right there?
What's the question? Sorry.
It's a little bit of pushback on our theories.
What she said.
She
Yeah,
said,
look, I
mhm,
agree with this perspective in that the show doesn't. If the show started showing historical figures, people would really start to realize that most of the clues on the show point to historical figures. So the ghosts that we're seeing, like the man crushed by the boulder, is Giles Corey from the Salem witch trials. The kimono wraith that tries to drown Elgin in the bathtub is OK Ito from the first ever Japanese colony in the United States from 1869. Um, you know, I believe that every single vision that people have had is an actual historical figure. Like even the ventriloquist dummy, I believe, is the famous ventriloquist dummy Charlie from the 1930s. So so I get what you're saying, but I think we actually have seen historical figures on the show already, and we're just going to meet them later. Um, in any case, I'll very quickly show you this slide. This is basically what a full solve of the show looks like, in my opinion. This is how to solve the show. Um, I know it looks like like a Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia's Crazy Wall. But I believe these are the four players here, and these are the three other beings in Fromland, and
Look
these are
at
like
what Chocolate Beauty said.
what did she say? She said 6 degree. What? Sorry, I don't get that reference. Unfortunately, is that a movie?
Referencing no, referencing how the connections are made in your theory. Like these people are connected by people that they know, people that they've gone like come into contact with,
Yes.
like friends of friends,
Yes.
acquaintances of acquaintances,
Actually,
things like that.
mostly it's direct acquaintances and direct friendships.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And direct friendships and direct acquaintances. And there are, well, see, the 6 degrees of separation part comes in where you might have a direct acquaintance, and that direct acquaintance might know one of the other people in the trail line, or their fathers may have known each other, or like you have a lot of brothers and fathers in the situation in the very beginning with the Cabots. You have who else? Just I'm drawing a blank real quick because I thought about something that I wanted to ask you could possibly be connected as well, and that was Blackbeard. So before I forget that, Blackbeard. Do you
Yeah,
think Blackbeard?
I wish it was Blackbeard because I know the bearded lady is on the show, and I know that the showrunners they like to like echo themes. Like, interestingly, Tabitha calls Julie Jules multiple times with emphasis on the show, and when you look up what Jules means, it actually also means the downy or soft bearded one. So it's a clue to the bearded lady who we'll see in the 1880s.
Um,
Unfortunately,
Christopher
Blackbeard.
Columbus. That's who I was thinking of. My fault.
Oh, we're not. I don't think we're going to meet Columbus on the show. I think we're going to hear his son, Christopher Columbus's sons, talking about Columbus's atrocities on the show, and I think that Christopher Columbus's sons will be characters in the origin story of Fromland on John Cabot's Lost Expedition. Genuinely,
Yes,
I believe
indeed.
so.
In the 1506 timeline is when Christopher Columbus passes away as well.
Yeah, I believe that Columbus's sons are introduced to Cabot by the Spanish ambassador, who was a proxy in the 1500s. He was the first ever marriage by proxy. But in any case, just very quickly before I go, because it's 4:20 a.m., I just wanted to say this is my actual theory for where this all begins. These are the characters who the monsters on the show originally are. The monsters are originally the Lilim, Lilith from Jewish sort of apocryphal religious texts. She is the original sort of stealer of children. Um, in her mythology, all of her children, or many of her children, are killed by God because they were begotten with the devil. So Lilith is basically the mother of the devil's children, who become known as the Lilim. The sea monster is actually Cain. He starts as Cain from the Bible, who kills Abel. Um, and then there are three angels on the show, two of whom are players in the game currently. One is Shamsiel, the fallen angel, the angel of the sun. The other is Sariel, the fallen angel of the moon. And then there's Azazel, the messenger angel. And then over time, and then the one who ends up becoming the spider, and the one who actually ends up becoming the boogeyman are Canaan and Sarai. So Sarai eventually becomes the giant spider, and Canaan eventually becomes the boogeyman. And over time, these beings evolve into different mythological creatures. So in every timeline, in every version of Fromland that there was, basically, mysterious islands from history are represented as Newfoundland on the show. So we're going to see the Greek Strophides, the Greek Hesperides, Israeli Ophir, Egyptian Punt, Welsh Avalon, the Irish Promised Land, Viking Vinland, Dante's Purgatorio, even the Estoti land of the Templar, and then eventually Tudor Newfoundland. This is the history of Fromland that the show's later seasons will eventually delve into.
Yo, do you have? Can you drop that in the Discord? And because PM said that they'd love to have a digital copy of that chart. Um,
I will
and
share it after I've posted my full theory because I don't want, I don't want anyone easily stealing from this and claiming it as their own. I don't think they will.
I don't
But
think they will.
I will not share this. I will share this publicly on my like Reddit theory and in my video, and then I will share it on Discord. But I want to
Okay.
get that set in stone before I let people have access to it. But this is what I think we're currently at now. So in modern Fromland, these beings have evolved and become sort of like corrupted versions of themselves, and this is what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with Newfoundland fairies. So the Lilim have become Newfoundland fairies now in modern Fromland. The Lilith, who's the dragon archetype, who was originally Medusa and a whole bunch of other sort of dragon-like, snake-like beings, she's now Cressy the dragon from Newfoundland mythology. The sea monster, who was originally Cain, is now a giant squid, I believe. And then Bonhomme Setters, the Northeast Canadian boogeyman, is what he is currently. Sarah has become a giant spider. Bigfoot is like the sun archetype being, and then Loup Garou, a Northeast Canadian dog werewolf, is the dog that follows the boy in white around, and the hag is like the messenger the psychopomp sort of archetype, and these are who I think is controlling them. So I think Tilly is the avatar for the hag. The boy in white is the avatar for Loup Garou. Thomas potentially is the avatar for Bigfoot. Donna is 100% the avatar for the giant spider. I think the boogeyman Martin was his avatar. Then Boyd was basically turning into his avatar, was about to be possessed, and then he got past that away. I think Marielle will eventually become the boogeyman's avatar and do some creepy ballerina dancing. I think the reason why Victor doesn't trust Elgin is because he's controlled by one of the evil sort of allies to the boogeyman, Cain and Lilith, who are the dragon and the sea monster. I think that is because Elgin, who has these, he keeps saying, "I see water. I have dreams of water." I think that's because he's like connected to the giant squid in some like psychological way. And finally, Tian Chen seems to be the lowly dragon. If she dies in season 3, then I'm going to have to assume it's Victor. But potentially one of these beings is using Victor or Tian Chen as an avatar. It might be Victor. I don't know.
And real quick,
Sure.
Kara, I don't see Kara in the chat. However, Kara has given a $20 donation to the PayPal link. Thank you for your generosity. And I don't see you in the chat. I would love if you could speak up in the chat and say hello. I want to highlight your comment for sure. If you have a question that you want to ask, post it down there. I'll highlight it and we'll get to it for sure.
So, if I may quickly, sorry, what was did I need to answer a question there?
No, I was highlighting what Chocolate Beauty said. Put a watermark on it and drop that thing on in there because we want to look at it.
Yeah,
I have it.
I
I
will.
have it, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put it in there without your consent. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
people
Oh,
go. But I can say this. Terrence Theory is definitely coming up shortly, so it will be there in the Discord. So if you go join the Discord now, you'll catch it when it pops up. We're all in there. Like I'm in the Discord, all the mods are in the Discord. Everybody that you see that interact with us, we're all in the Discord. A lot of times we hang out there and we crack codes in there as well. So definitely come on in and join us. Have some fun.
so the
But
last
yeah,
thing I want to
I
say.
wouldn't be mad about that. I wouldn't be mad if you put a watermark on there so we could get a really good look at it. This is one of the most interesting and in-depth theories in the entire community, and I think a lot of people like it for that fact alone, that of the work and the scholarship that you've put behind it. Uh, um,
Thank
yeah,
you.
go ahead,
Yeah.
continue.
Well, so just to say, I actually don't. I actually think that we're mostly gonna we're mostly gonna focus on these two sets of beings here and here. Okay, that's like 90% of the show. All of this, all of this stuff here, this is just going to be like thematic. It's going to be referenced when they're like doing research. There's going to be like I think it'll be like a compilation of flashbacks. We won't see all of this. This is what the showrunners want the people trying to solve it to do, but I don't think they're going to depict it all. This is like the wider context, but I'm fairly certain that the
Look at what Carrie said.
sorry, I'm flipping. Donna is the avatar for the spider. Technically, yeah, because Bridget of York, she's also she's also like a knitter. She's like a she can like weave stuff. That's what like royalty, like royal princesses were taught. You know, knitting and things that unfortunately back then they thought the only thing ladies were good for was like basically weaving clothing and not necessarily cooking, but learning music and elocution and things like that. That so she was more of a weaver. So yeah, I know everyone thinks this is way too complicated. There's like hundreds of names on here. I do understand that. I'm not saying that all of this is going to show up in like entire seasons on the show where they're going to focus on it. It's mostly here, this segment here, that's really where it all sits. And most of these, this is me hedging my bets. So it will be one of these three. It won't be all three. Where I've got a slash here, it's like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one it is.
Yes. Shout out Gardenia Blossoms in the chat. Hey sis, we missed you. What up, cousin?
So this is where all the Native American mythology comes from. So currently, they're in this form on the right hand side here, but in the origin story that created the curse, this is what they were. And then before the curse was created, this is the history of the seven beings, basically. This is their history that will be covered in a series of flashbacks and research in later seasons. But this is like the origin story. This is what's going on currently. This is the main origin story that we'll see in flashbacks, this section here. And then all of this is all going to be like sort of research and clues and themes and flash very like montages. And then the real origin story is here. This stuff with Noah and the Garden of Eden, this we will see. This we will see an episode dedicated to their origin story with this cast of characters. This will be one episode of season 6 or something covering that. This stuff, I don't know. I have no idea how they're going to depict it, but the clues are there. They're absolutely there. I know people think I'm crazy, but they just are there. The clues are
Now,
there.
I would like to say something that I don't I think that you and I have very similar theories, and I think they exist in the realm of esoterica. I
Yeah.
believe that our theories will be mostly esoteric. However, as far as the historical figures, I do feel like there will be not only a montage of sorts that will show a bunch of historical figures or historical events that we can tie to direct historical figures. Um, but will also, if they don't do that, they will do something where the clues will be more apparent to these historical figures, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I don't think all of this is going to feature. I actually think like the showrunners are like, we're going to give them clues almost for like the book version of this TV show. So, for example, I think we're going to meet like at least 5 people from the freak shows of American history on the show in the 1880s, like time travel portion of the show. But I don't think they're all going to be named characters that have lines. I think we're just going to see like a little person hanging out in the background dressed as the historical figure, but they won't introduce him. You know, he'll just be in the back like a background character.
Right. I think that'll be this. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think, and I also think that they will leave clues that lead to these characters as well, like how we see Benjamin Franklin, we see Boyd with the post office, we see, what do you think about Alexander Graham Bell?
He's going to be one of the. So okay, so here's the other thing that I need to explain. Basically,
Bell is an electricity company as well in the North region.
let's see. I've probably got him in here somewhere. Oh yeah, here. Can you see here? So there will be an object that's mostly passed along between inventors. I don't know what that object is. That's the crazy thing. Sometimes you don't know what's being passed along, but you can see him here. Alexander Graham Bell is in there.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I can totally see that.
So I
But
and
I think that these
who
things
ends
will
up
be
with it?
referenced. I think these things will be referenced in the show. I think that what you've I think that what you've come across and not even stumbled across, but actually found it. I think that they're gonna just show it in the same way that led you to these clues, which is esoterically. I always bring up the Gulagog and the Gollywog. Um, I always think about Gulagog and the Gollywog and how they will never bring up Thomas Dartmouth Rice in reference to Jim Crow, right? However, they put that clue definitely in the show. The movie Roots is clued in the show. The movie Roots has to do with slavery. Jade finds the roots. He comes into this place with a person named Toby. I think that that is where that clue stays. However, it will it will be reminiscent. We'll think about those clues when we learn that slavery is a part of the narrative of the show.
Yeah,
Just as
I think that's true.
all right, so in other words, to answer that question that we had from that person there, I forget who it was that I had highlighted earlier. To answer that question, historical events are definitely going to be referenced in the show. Historical events have already been referenced in the show. They've already referenced the Civil War. So, as far as historical figures, I think it's going to be esoterically. In the historical events, I think that that's already apparent in the show. So that just to soothe the question a little bit about 2 seasons going by, why no historical figures? Well, the very first season, the one of Jade's visions, if not the first one, but definitely the second vision of his was a historical reference to an historical event, the Civil War, which has to do with slavery. I think it's no coincidence that Jade and Toby come into this places and Jade finds the roots. I think it's definitely a callback to the movie Roots. I actually think Bacta is a callback to the movie Get on the Bus. Has anyone ever seen the movie Get on the Bus with Bernie Mac and all of them in it? A lot of people in that movie, but Bacta is a callback to that. That is a callback to civil rights activism and things of that nature as well. So yeah, I can see the historical references are there. You might not feel like it because you don't actually see the historical figures, but the historical references are undeniable for sure.
Now, I just want to share my screen one last time before I go. And Choco Beauty, I haven't seen anything on General Electric in my research yet, but I'll keep an eye out. But yeah, if you could give me permission to share one more time, I just want to share one last thing before I go.
Yeah, you're here.
Okay, so finally, I have theorized many, many times that I've been theorizing this since midway through season 2, before she even showed up as a monster on the show. OK Ito if 100% there's going to be a teenage Japanese actor representing OK Ito, and there are very few young Japanese Canadian actors. And this girl, I think, Momona Tamada, I actually believe that she is going to be in season 3 or season 4 of Fromland. And there was a picture that she shared recently that even had a jellyfish on it. But in any case, I think this is OK Ito in season 4 of From.
Okay,
Genuinely.
yeah. So that's your Okaido right there.
Yeah, that's who I think it is.
Does
Now,
she look like
look,
does she
look,
look like
Sarah,
does
Sarah
she
liked her post. Oh, I've lost it. Sarah liked one of her posts. The actress who plays Sarah.
okay. Does she does she look like the Okaido kimono wraith?
No, to be honest, she does not. I don't think she does. I think they didn't know who they were going to cast for her when they made the fake version. But her face is all shriveled and stuff anyway, so who knows? But I
Right.
do think, yeah,
I want to answer Carrie's question. She said, "Ain't the Bell boy Carrie connected to Abraham Lincoln, or is my memory not serving me?" No, it's connected to the liberty aspects of the founding fathers. Um, Also the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia, where Benjamin Franklin took residence. Ben Franklin took residence in Philadelphia, where the Liberty Bell is. He also was the first postmaster general, and Boyd lives in the post office. There are a lot of similarities there. She also says definitely will be a Japanese. It was on the looking for sheet. We just got to prove if she's Japanese. Figure you think it is. Okay,
that's
so
awesome. That is awesome, Carrie. I had no idea about that.
right,
Wow.
so they were looking for a Japanese character, and obviously to play the kimono wraith. If that doesn't shut down the theory that that kimono wraith thing is Fatima, then I don't know what does.
Yeah.
However, it does. I can say I'm not mad at anybody thinking that that thing was Fatima. I'm not
Yeah,
mad
I
at
mean, I
that
think
at
they
all.
made it look like her. I think they intentionally wanted to create that confusion.
Right. So if they intentionally created that confusion, then what do you think about this confusion? Let me share my screen. What do you think about this confusion? What do you think about these guys?
I don't see it personally. They're not the same actor. We know that for sure.
We know they're not the same actor, but look at these guys, man. I
They do
mean,
look kind of similar. They've both got that sort of aquiline nose, sort of Romano Greco sort of features, sharp cheekbones. Yeah, but yeah,
they're
look,
on.
it's 4:40 now. Real, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Oh
I
yeah, no
actually
problem.
I actually went to sleep early at 10 p.m. Set an alarm for 2:20 p.m. And then woke up to jump on this live with you. But I think we covered a lot. I think we've laid some stuff down. I think we've made some predictions. We've told people a little bit about our trip. So it's been a very productive call. And I have now realized that every being on the show has their own symbol, which is super helpful to me as well. So I will be looking out for that in season 3. So thank you, Real, and thank you everyone for watching. And sorry if I talk too long. I will leave you to continue your live and maybe do some call-ins, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I will open up the lines. I'm going to be getting out of here soon as well, but I will open up the lines before we go. I'm going to go over, I have something that I'm going to go over that I want to talk about a little bit before I go here. It's pretty good one. I'm going to also make a video about it, but I want to give everybody a brief breakdown of it here, a little sneak peek, if you will. Good night, Taran. Everybody says good night. Bye,
Awesome.
Taran.
Good night, everyone, and good
Good
night,
night.
Real. Take it easy, man. Bye bye.
Indeed. Peace. Yes, the one and only Taran Matharu. Yes, indeed. A great friend and brother in this from community. Um, New York Times best-selling author, professional as it gets, putting a lot of scholarship and work into uh the fandom and bringing something that a lot of people actually enjoy. I enjoy listening to the theory. I enjoy I like listening to him. Then I like going to read it and look for it myself. I do this often. Um, Speaking of similarities, we're talking about, I'm going to go through a couple of things here real quick. So we're talking about these two. And Taryn makes a good point that they made that kimono race specifically purposely look like Fatima. And so this indicates that the casting and the set designers, the makeup people, the directors are all in line with attention to detail. And I just don't see them casting this guy for the season 3 preacher and him looking like Martin for nothing. I don't see them doing that. I don't see them doing that. Yes, indeed, Taryn. Taryn just sent me a message. Yes, indeed. If you're listening, brother. Yes, indeed. I got it loud and clear. LMB says, I learned so much from you and Taryn. So many historical connections I never knew about. That's so dope. That's so dope. Join the Discord. Join the Discord, LBM. Holler at us in there. Let us know that you're in the Discord. If you don't have Discord, it's not that complicated. It takes just a little minute to get used to. But once you're there, you'll be in there cooking with the rest of us, having a good time and enjoying in the theories as well. Yes, enjoying the live stream show. Real Enigmas and Theories, some love via Cash App, $ Real Enigmas. And also you can like this video, you can share this video, you can subscribe to the channel. Those are the free support options for the channel. I want to talk about something else that looks alike. Let's get these two out of here. Let's get this one and this one up there. What do you guys think about those holes right there? Do those holes look similar? Do those holes look similar to you? They look very similar. And my theory, the hole on the right, which is where the roots are, in my theory, I think the spiders come down from that hole and bite the little kids that are on the stones. And if you look at this other hole here, it definitely has those cords hanging down, which could be a foreshadowing to this fact. If it is in fact a fact, right? I'm looking for another picture here. I know y'all see me scrolling. I hope I didn't go the wrong way again. Yes, the children laying down on the slabs. Now, yeah, we can use that picture in there as well. I'm looking, okay, we could use this one. We have a spider web under the houses. So we know the tunnels are under the houses, and we know these slabs are in the tunnels under the houses. Again, look at the hole in this picture right here that shows the kids and all of that. Look at the hole. You can still see the hole. It gives you a perspective of the hole. So I think that there's a spider web that occurs as well and bites these children. I'm looking for another picture of Victor's where Victor literally draws the hole with a spider inside of the hole. But the spider pretty much is as big as the hole. It's a big ass spider in the hole. If I can't find it here, I do know where we can view it. Uh Look at all of this stuff, y'all. This is not even half of the stuff that I use to create my videos. It's a lot. Everything that is in my videos is in these folders though that you're looking at. There's videos and pictures, but I cannot see that. But I do know where it is. It is in the video that I played earlier. Okay, so we'll go find it in here. Might be actually a lot easier. Okay. Not as easy as I thought it was going to be. All right, hold on. I'm going to get this, screenshot it, and put it next to all the other pictures we have. Wow. So I thought I had a picture of Ethan holding a picture of the spider. There's a picture where Ethan's holding the spider, and that spider is in that hole. And so I just think that that supports my theory. I'm standing on that, y'all. Like I'm standing on the whole theory about the spiders turning the kids into the slow walkers. Like that one just sticks out so much to me. The slow walkers definitely look like those kids in the making. The kids look like the slow walkers in the making. But you guys get the idea. Let's bring this back up. These similarities are, and the drawing also looks like the drawing of this hole here. Okay, let me run through some of these comments and see what we got going. The casting calls asked for a certain look. They even gave photos and of specifics. Okay. Yes, casting. Okay, appreciate y'all. Hit me up if y'all want. I'm set up a live stream and explain everything that's going based on those books and what ties to them. Good night. Okay. Good night, Chicago Made. Yes, I am talking about the pic where Ethan was standing at the table. Ethan was standing at the table and his mom and sister were looking at the drawing. Yes. It was around this picture right here when they were looking at the drawings. Bank Run knows what I'm talking about. I actually thought I have like a picture of this. I know I do. I'm just not seeing it right now. But it totally speaks to, what Ethan's dream was about the spider coming from the wall and hearing screams. He said someone was screaming as the spider was coming down. LBM says, I always feel like it's looking up from the underworld into our world through the tree roots when I see that symbol. I agree with you there. Because Jade, if you look at this one, Jade obviously sees a sky. He definitely sees a sky here. Is that sky in the real world, or is that sky in Frumland somewhere? I think it could be possibly in the real world, maybe even where Tabitha ends up. And the reason why I think that is because I think that at the exact same time when Jade was down here and this happened is when Tabitha went through and got out of this place and these things opened up. Because when Jade first looks up at him, they are they're not they're not there in front of him. He can't see them. Like it's closed. He can't see the roots. They're not visible. It just looks like one big root block. But you can actually see that it opens up. And what I'm really wondering is, did he see them move? because when he was looking at the when he was started drawing his own symbols, he definitely drew them in a way that it appeared that they were moving. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna open up the lines in a little bit, not right now, but I do want to talk about something real quick. And I have brought this up from Rotten Tomatoes, and we're gonna look at these titles again, or these synopsises for the episodes once again. And I want to point something out to you guys that I don't think we pointed out at first. Okay. So season 3, where are the episodes? Here are the episodes. So the details for Shatter. Okay. Boyd feels the town slipping away from him as the weather grows colder and the residents are more desperate. See episode 2. Boyd struggles to find a path forward as the town says farewell to one of their own. Fatima's health takes a turn for the worse. Tabitha finds help from an unlikely ally. Okay. Kenny leads a group into the forest in search of food. Donna and Ellis try to talk Boyd out of a dangerous plan. Now, what I want to focus on here is Donna and Boyd. Let's stay on Donna and Boyd. Remember their interactions in the first 2 seasons. Remember the interactions in the season 3 trailer. Donna was talking to Boyd in the trailer about the people they had lost, and Boyd was telling her that there was an ambush. Then there's a point where Donna's crying, and Donna's saying that the game is rigged. Okay, Donna has talked about the game being rigged and playing game and putting her game face on and get her game hat on. She spoke about that in the gas station / bar. And even Dale, after the one guy ends his life at the post office, even Dale says something about playing along. Okay. When they were going into the post office from Colony House after the massacre, Dale said something about playing along. So Dale definitely be hitting hard when he talks. But I'm gonna keep reading here. So we have episode 4. Okay. Boyd is forced to make a tough decision when newcomers arrive in town at nightfall. Victor unearths memories from the past in hopes of finding answers. Okay, so Boyd is forced to make a tough decision. So what's going on with Boyd is he's the leader or sheriff of this place. And Donna bows to that. She definitely says, "These are your rules, Boyd. Um we had an agreement, Boyd, that you don't come up here. We had an agreement that the sheriff doesn't come up here." Yo, shout out to Vanessa. She gifted 5 more Real Enigmas and Theories memberships. We appreciate you for your generosity. And if you got one of those memberships, definitely thank her for that. Yes, indeed. Purple Alizé, how you doing? I'm unsure, Real, if you noticed the BTS footage of the cave. I just posted it on Discord. I'm gonna go grab that and check it out. Let me go look at that. I'm gonna keep talking about this here. Um, and I'm gonna just look at that just to see if it like might even be supporting what I'm talking about. Oh my God, I got so many. I have 100 plus new messages I gotta look at. Y'all be in here cooking. Word. I don't see it. I don't see. Oh, did you send it to? Did you direct message it to me? Send it to my direct. Send it to my inbox on Discord. We'll get to it for sure. Okay, Boyd is forced to make a tough decision. So, like I was saying, you see that there's some kind of contention between Boyd and Donna, right? there's big contention between Boyd and Donna. It seems like it always has been. Um, I mean, it's not like she was supposed to be peaches and roses and stuff. I mean, when you meet this person, they're, in a hidey hole with you and your family for the first night. So I'm not saying that everything's supposed to be roses and all of that. There's even a thing there where Boyd says people might start thinking that I like you or something like that, or that we're cool or we're friends or something. Kind of insinuating that most of the people kind of look at them like they're at odds. Um, I find it very strange that the town itself is split up into two factions. You have Colony House and then you have the people in town. Why would you do that if why would someone do that if you're in a place like this? It just doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? Delcinia, send that to me on Discord so I can grab it and put it on the screen because that's the picture I'm looking for, sis. Appreciate you very much. That's actually in the yeah, I know you texted to me, but send it to me on Discord. It'll be a lot easier. It looks like this is like, yo, is this a members only stream or what? What the hell's going on here? This is like we got a lot of members in the building. There's a couple people that don't have memberships in here rocking with us tonight, but there's a lot of members in the building tonight. I appreciate this. I love this. This is real dope. The chat is definitely open to everybody. If you're not a member, holler at us. You know what I'm saying? Let us know you're in there. I like to try to get to comments that are actually intriguing and thought-provoking comments. So I highlight everybody comments. You don't have to be a member to get your comment highlighted over here. Yes, indeed. When you get that to me when you can, sis. But let me see. Did she put it in there yet? I'm looking for you. If you could put that in our in the inbox in Discord, that would be dope, Delcine, for real. But thank you, sis. But Boyd and Donna definitely have some kind of contention going on. Now let's keep reading. It gets interesting. It gets more interesting. Boom, she did it. We got it. Okay, I'll pull that up in a little something. Okay. So Victor must face a painful reminder of his past. Okay, all right. Boyd struggles to keep the town safe as residents begin to question his judgment. Now, that's in episode 5 of season 3. Now, I want to point something out. The contention behind Boyd and Donna is crazy to me, being that they're in this place. And if you watch the show and you've seen the show already, and if you know that Donna and Boyd kind of have this like back and forth going on. In the very first episode, he goes up there to see his son, and she's like, "Yo, you don't come up here. We have an agreement that you don't come here." Why would that be in a fucked up place like this? That people aren't sticking together and would even have an agreement that you don't come up here. Especially with this man being the one who found the talismans. Girl, you wouldn't even have a bedroom, a place to stay, or any of that shit if I didn't find the talismans. I can go where the fuck I want to go in here. That's how I look at it. That's just my opinion, y'all. So what is this contention is about? It's very strange. And then we see in episode 5 of season 3 that Boyd struggles to keep the town safe as residents begin to question his judgment. Now, we already seen Reggie try to kill Boyd because he felt like it was Boyd's fault that these things had come and come to play with the cicadas and not being able to go to sleep. And Reggie went straight up Rambo on homie, but he got his ass handed to him. Now, here it is. What I originally thought that it had to do with Ellis. Okay, that's a good thought. Because think about it, right? Why does Ellis get his own room up there? You know, I guess everybody was kind of feeling sorry for him too after he lost his mom. The only thing that he could do if he's not fucking with his dad no more is probably go to the opposite place of where he was at, where his father was at. Um, there's a lot of reasons why. But if that's the case, okay. If you want to be like that, then I'm keeping my talismans then. I'm putting my talisman. No, we're gonna stick to I would have forced everyone. Yo, we sticking together through this. We're not breaking up into different factions and all that. Fuck that. Like, I'm running this shit. I'm the one that's out here fixing shit. I done found food. Now we can get a good night's sleep. Now we got places to lay our head. I'm not having that. And Boyd doesn't seem like he was in agreement to their whatever agreement, actually. He was like, hey, I'm just up here to see my son, Donna. So with you saying that you thought it had to do with Ellis, if you think about it, if he's saying that he come up here to see his son, then why would him saying I'm just up here to see my son be the reason why she says, okay, I'll let you up here? I would think that if it was about Ellis and he came up there and said, well, I just want to see my son, that she would have been like, no, that's the reason why your ass can't come up here. So I don't think it's about the son. It has to be about something different. And it seems like Donna is the one that is more about the actual contention aspect of it. It seems like that's her. Um Now, here again, episode 5, season 3. Now in episode 2, episode 5, season 3. Now in episode 2, episode 5, season 2, Boyd and Donna were having a discussion in Donna's bedroom after he came back and after everybody found out that Sarah was alive. Boyd and Donna were in her bedroom talking. And she says, you might have just lost the one thing that and he was like, lost what? The one thing that made people trust you in this place. So here's my prediction. I said all of this bullshit to say this, and then I'm gonna open up the phone lines. Delcine, no, then I'm gonna get back to the picture Delcina sent me. But after I'm done with that, Delcina, you could post the chat line. We're gonna open the chats, and I would like to get people's perspective on, if you want to, what Taran and I talked about, what I'm talking about right now, or you can just ask whatever general question. But my prediction is this: Donna is who kind of pushes the rock over the edge, so to speak, to make the town people start distrusting Boyd. She starts calling him out in front of people. She starts things that start the contention. And she might even play both sides of it, where she might say a few things to some people, some residents, that make them doubt Boyd's leadership. And then she might play both sides, like when people start like questioning his leadership, she says, no, we're gonna listen to Boyd and see what he has to say. Go back and listen to the conversation. Let me see if I have it here, if I can pull it up. If I can pull it up, we're gonna watch that scene. We're gonna watch that scene and you'll see what I'm saying. And I agree with a lot of the shit she was saying in there, if I'm gonna be fair. If I'm gonna be fair, she was saying a lot of stuff that was actually true. Do I have it? Mm, let me see here. Do I have that? I don't think I have it on the computer. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I have this hard drive here that has it. Yeah, we should watch this scene because the scene now I think it's very I think it's very interesting that in scene 5 of season 3, I mean episode 5 of season 3, we have the town starts to question Boyd's judgment. And then it says Tabitha tries to adjust to her new surroundings. But Boyd struggling to keep the town safe as the residents begin to question his judgment. In episode 5 of season 2, Donna pretty much points out that his judgment is slipping, and she thinks that the people might not trust him after his decision with Sarah. We didn't even get a chance to get that far because so much happened right after it, and the pacing of the show is not really conducive to those extra talking points. But someone says Boyd must break some rules. Hmm. I can agree with you there. Hold on real quick. I gotta put something in the chat real quick. Y'all can see this in the chat. That's what I'm going right now. You know, if y'all with me, we up Saturday Night Live. Y'all with me? Uh, spark up, spark up. Okay, here it is. Thank you for this, Del Senior. Okay, there we have it right here. The spider in the hole, y'all. The spider in the hole. What's the deal with that? The spider in the hole. This is Ethan. This is Ethan talking to Tabitha holding that. I'll pull that one up too. The spider in the hole. I believe that that spider comes down from the hole. I believe that this spider right here, this picture is depicting what happens. That's what I believe. That's my theory. Do not the holes look similar? The holes definitely look similar, and it looks like this hole as well. And I think that the electric wires coming down are foreshadowing the spider coming down. And at some point we will see it. It'll be some crazy, scary looking CGI. We also have the spider coming down right here. A lot of people think that this is a spider on the y'all calling it a snow globe. I'm calling it a crystal ball. Some people are calling it a snow globe. And here we can see the hole again around the edges here, looking down at Jade. And this is when it was closed. He looks up and then he sees it again. Okay. Yes. Yes, I got that. I got that, sis. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so Delcy, if you can go ahead and open up the chat lines, drop the chat line in there. I'll post that and I'll pin that for you. And we can get somebody up here to talk. I know Chicago Gaming, I think he left. I wanted him to come up for real. He had a little bit of smoke for the chat for our conversation. Me and yes, the Fatima's gas pack. Gardenia's Blossoms is in the building. Love seeing her in here. Hmm. The Fatima's gas pack. Me and Bank Run was throwing back and forth names of possible herbal brands connected to From. He came up with a really good one. That Zatima, that Zatima's gas pack. We could definitely do that. I'm gonna do some graphics based off of the names that we came up with. I think it'll be pretty dope. At the very minimum, make some shirts and some memes and shit like that. Another one he came up with was Frumlin Farms. I thought that was dope. Bank Run is in the cannabis industry. Really dope dude. We talk a little bit off the streams and stuff. Okay, what he said? He said he on Elgin's Dream tonight. Oh, that's that water pack. That's that ocean pack. That's that nah. That's that t-shirt and that's that t-shirt in the bathtub pack. Hey y'all, if I ever interview dude, we gotta get him. We gotta get him on the shirt, yo. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all, y'all gotta get it. Y'all gotta get in here with us on the Discord. Um, we be saying some funny shit in there. Just put it like that. I'm not gonna repeat none of the shit we be saying. Maybe on a late night stream after dark kind of vibes. You know, shout out to all the creators out there that do the after dark streams. Those get a little hairy. Elgin's Dream is a mummy version of Fatima. Okay. Jessica O. Bank Run. Bank Run. Bank Run. Yo, Bank Run. Me and Bank Run got some good names for that gas. You'll see some of these. I'm gonna start creating them. Bank Run. I ain't forget. I'm gonna create some visuals for them names that we came up with. I want to try to be non-proprietary so that we can do something with them, possibly. Fatima's gas pack got her face right on it, so I'll just leave that as an emoji for us to play with. But we'll do another one. We'll do another one for the Zatima's gas pack. Yes, that's what Discord's for. Yeah, the Discord is for when we go crazy on there. You know what I mean? Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, I'm not gonna say no more names. Yeah, you loading me up with the names. I'm not even gonna have. I'm not even. You. We gonna have 100 of them joints before we get the first image done. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Yeah, we got to talk about episode 5. I wish I could get it to play, y'all. Hold on, let me see if I could do something here. I gotta get episode 5 up here to play. I know it won't play from like the streaming service on here. So I'm gonna play it like this. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Hope it did work. Okay, it worked, y'all. Let's get this going. Episode 5. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. We're gonna talk about this episode first. We hold on, let me see. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Boyd and Donna talking. Was it in this episode? Oh, okay. So down came the rain and washed the spider out. Check this out, y'all. Look at the water coming down. Look at the water dripping back there. You see the water dripping back there, y'all? Down came the rain and washed the spider out. The water's dripping directly into the tunnels. Y'all see the water back there. I'm gooey. I'm gooey. They say I'm gooey. There, the water going right into the tunnel. Now Tabitha was asking where did the water come from? I think we have that as the answer right there. But I want to point out an earlier part of the same episode. We can play this. Hopefully, we don't get any copyright strikes. All right, now she talks about the rules and everything. Can y'all hear this? Now she talked about the rules and the rules he created. Okay, so y'all can't hear it. Let me see what I could do here. Let me take it off, present the screen, make sure that I am presenting it. Okay, let's present it with the sound.
What were you fucking doing, Boyd? By the rules of this town, the rules you created, that girl should have gone in the box the second you found her.
Listen, Father Kotry's
fucking dead. Don't you lay this on him. You made your own call here, Boyd. You told people you were coming back with answers.
Okay, so she said you made your own call. She said rules that you made. Okay, so she's talking about a game, y'all.
And instead, you came back.
You made your own call. Call is something you do in a call is what you do in poker. You call the player's bet.
The psychopath who killed not one, but 4 people. And because she's special, she doesn't have to go in the box? Do you hear what that sounds like?
She knew things. Out in the bar, she knew things she couldn't possibly have known.
Okay, great. So what?
What do you mean, so what?
I mean, we're still fucking here. Voices or no voices. Do you see a yellow brick fucking road leading us home? Because I sure don't. I just see someone who may have just betrayed the one thing this place still has going for it.
And what's that?
Faith in you.
There it is. So she said you may have just betrayed the one thing that this place had going for it.
One thing this place still has going for it.
And what's that?
Faith in you.
Okay. That right there tells me that Donna is going to be the one who kind of stirs the pot for the people not to fuck with Boyd. Let's listen to this conversation again. And then look where she goes. Look where she takes it.
Girl should have gone in the box. Boyd. By the rules of this town, the rules you created, that girl should have gone in the box the second you found her.
Listen, Father Kotry's
fucking dead. Don't you lay this on him. You made your own call here, Boyd. You told people you were coming back with answers. And instead, you came back with a psychopath who killed not one, but 4 people. And because she's special, she doesn't have to go in the box? Do you hear what that sounds like?
She knew things. Out in the bar, she knew things she couldn't possibly have known.
Okay, great. So what?
What do you mean, so what?
I mean, we're still fucking here. Voices or no voices. Do you see a yellow brick fucking road leading us home? Because I sure don't. I just see someone who may have just betrayed the one thing this place still has going for it.
And what's that?
Faith in you.
She's saying in episode 5, season 2, that he destroyed the faith in you. She said he made his own call. And then she also referenced the yellow brick road. Now, if any of you are familiar with Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, the yellow brick road makes a lot of statements as far as what should I say? Commerce. LBM also gives a super chat. Thank you for your generosity, sis, for real. I found it interesting when Donna told Kenny that if they got out, he might find that he misses more about the town than he thought. She knows things. Yes, indeed. I agree. Why would you why would you not be trying to figure out how to get out of here? There'd only be two reasons why you wouldn't be trying to figure, well, three. The first is the most obvious. The first is the most obvious reason, which is that you'll be scared that you'll die trying to figure out how to get out of there. So that's a valid reason, right? I can give valid reason to that. I think that's cool. I'm with that. But then you also have, if you were a player on the inside, that would be another reason why you would advocate for people to kind of give up the idea of getting out. And the third reason would be if your life is just so fucked up on the outside that this place is better than your life right now. And I'm pretty sure a couple of people were in that situation. Sounds like Sarah was in that situation. And Father Kotri definitely was in that situation. Father Kotri was about to be going to jail for murder. He had a case, but you still can't just go and murder somebody just because you witnessed a murder. You can hold them till the police get there or something. But yeah, Father Kotri was about to take a ride upstate when he ended up in this place. Okay. I think she said, so what? As in, so what does it mean? Did the voices or Boyd's trip in the forest lead to any answers? He came back not willing to share his experience with anyone. I agree. I think the so what was twofold. Like she was saying, so what? So what that little motherfucker could hear voices? She killed people. And I think that she was saying, so what? And kind of saying, so what? So what happened? So what came of it? What came of you going into the forest with her? So I think that it was twofold. She probably meant it in both ways. But she says something very interesting here as well.
Want the truth? I don't think this has anything to do with going home. I think this is about Abby. I think you shot your wife.
Now I'm going to stop it right there. She said that she thinks that this doesn't have anything to do with going home. And she thinks that it's all about Abby. Do you think anybody in their right mind would really believe that? Do you think that the man that went out into the forest to get food, the man that found the talismans, wasn't trying to figure out a way to get out of this place while also synonymously making it livable? Like both can be the same at the same both can exist at the same time. Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here, but yeah, I'm trying to make this shit livable while we're here as well. I think that she was trying to get in Boyd's head, and as you see at the end of this scene, it doesn't work because he gets right up and says this.
And every morning since, you wake up wishing you'd done more, that you'd been there for her, helped her, fixed her. But Abby's dead, Boyd. And Sarah's a killer.
You gonna have my back on this or not?
Are you gonna have my back on this or not? this is going to be the both sides that Donna's going to be playing. Donna is going to sow the seeds of mistrust in Boyd's judgment. I guarantee you guys this. I don't know. I can't guarantee you guys this. But I think that's my theory. This She's going to sow the seeds of mistrust. And it's very fitting, being that the seeds that she's sown are not growing in the ground, but these seeds will grow. And she's sowing those seeds. She's going to be the one to plant the seeds of mistrust against Boyd. She's gonna question things. I agree. We all get the same vibes. Like I'm a lot like Boyd. I can tell you that right now. Like I'm one of those kind of Boyd characters. If I see that there's no one in charge and everyone's just kind of hemming and hawing, I'm one that step charge. I like to make groups of people. I like to group people up. Let's get this done. I like to take any kind of large problem and break it down into small tasks. And then we can all figure out this thing. If any large problem can be solved if you break it down into small tasks. So I see where Boyd's coming from. What we got here? He's a leader and protector. Boyd is a fixer. Yes, indeed. Yes, Boyd pushes forward and Donna holds back. So you're feeling the vibes. This is one of the things that adds to Donna's attributes of not being trusted. Now, I must admit that I like the character of Donna. She's also a take charge type of individual who has succeeded the role of leadership to Boyd. That's also a great leader. If there are two factions in this town, one of the leaders should put one of the other leaders ahead of themselves. And Donna has done that. Donna also has like almost like a big auntie vibe, a big auntie protector vibe. She also kind of gives some kind of motherly vibes when it comes to certain people. Like she shows the favoritism with the peaches to Victor. She's close to Fatima. She actually created a gift for Fatima and gifted her. She gives an authority to certain people, like Matthias is the guarder of the armory. He also is part of her security team. She's got security dudes. She designated Fatima as the proxy for Elgin and Julie. She breaks it down to Jade about what's going on in this place. She has to sit down with Tabitha. Yeah, she definitely is trustable. She makes you trust her. But if there is a mole, and the showrunners have confirmed that there is a mole, and I don't like to use the terminology mole, but the showrunners has confirmed it. The showrunners have confirmed it. So this means that if anybody would be the mole, it would be her. What other character would 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 cause the biggest sense of betrayal? You wouldn't be betrayed if it was the girl with the eye patch. She's not done anything to make you really care about her. It wouldn't be Dale, although I do think that Dale could possibly be in cahoots with Donna. It wouldn't be Kenny. It wouldn't be Miss Lou. If it was Miss Lou, that would be something. That could be there because we do like her. We do trust her. She is making the food. Another person it would be that we would care about would be Christy. She does take care of people. She is a fixed image on the show. Now with her love interest being the only person that we know of that has a connection to this place other than herself. Well, that is herself. That would be a damaging one. But I don't see it being either Miss Lou or Christy at all, because it doesn't seem like they would have anything to gain. And it doesn't seem like they're working for something to gain. It seems like Donna is working for something to gain here. Um, you know, Donna would be that character that most people would feel betrayed if she was the mole. No one else fits the bill. Tilly, Tilly hasn't done anything to show any type of agenda of her own. Okay, she's an old lady with cancer, so she was dancing around. She popped up and stopped Jim from investigating the light flickering on and off, the exit light. She popped up with some morphine that could entice Mari. She also spilled the tea about Sarah being back. She also said to Boyd about knowing that he went on a little adventure. She did that. She did that. She did all of that. So I could see why people would suspect her. But what have you actually seen her do to work for her own agenda, so to speak? There's really been nothing that she's done. I definitely don't believe it's Fatima. Fatima does have a questionable name. She doesn't have an Iranian or Persian name. Her backstory was kind of vague other than her childhood, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like she's a victim. It yeah. Yo, sounds like some plot in the Squid Games. Yo, by the way, in the Squid Games, I knew right away that the old head was there. The reason why I knew that he had something to do with it was because he was laughing and shit while everybody else's face was looking terrified. And they kind of gave him Tilly vibes, like he was old and just trying to enjoy his life and try to win some money one last time or something. Um, Tilly was on her way to try to bet on the horses. She said, I was going to bet on the ponies. There's a lot of ponies brought up, ponies and horses. But I don't think it's Tilly. Those things that we look at Tilly and think that she has some sort of nefarious plot plan are just really nothing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like she's working towards an agenda. The only thing that you could say she tried to stir up some trouble with is telling Christy that Sarah was there, but that really didn't do anything. That really doesn't add to anything. That really didn't push the story forward. So I don't think that Tilly is bad. Somebody said about her knowing about the pregnancy, Fatima's pregnancy. I can definitely say that old women and women with children be knowing when somebody's pregnant. I've witnessed it time and time again. Um, I guess it's an old wives' tale or some sort of like, kind of belief or whatever. I guess it's a belief. It's not factual, but I believe it. I've even seen children and animals can kind of tell when somebody's pregnant. I know dogs and cats can tell when you're pregnant. Um, but I've seen children spot a pregnant person. But I've seen women Tilly's age spot somebody being pregnant that they don't even know. I've seen them do it to family members. So like, yeah. Um okay, so Gardenia Blossoms points out that there's a connection with Tilly's 4 children and 7 grandchildren. The number came on the radio while they were in the RV. There were also 7 children on the slabs, on the concrete slabs. There are also 7 people, including Tilly, that she is praying with in the prayer circle. The number 47 is encoded into Tabitha's hospital room. So yeah, I can see that, but that still doesn't make her a big bad, or that doesn't make her a mole because she had 7 children and 7 grandchildren and 4 children. That just possibly connects her to this place, which I think it does. I think that Tilly is the mother. I think that Tilly will find out that either that her granddaughter was there. I think she is the mother of either Frank or Lauren Pratt, and she might even be Frank's mom. I think that Tilly might be Frank's mom. So I think that she's just connected to the place, and that's what the 4 and 7 is hitting for. I found it strange that Elgin had to teach Tilly how to crochet when like most older women from that generation knew how to crochet. Um s- just thinking about that whole scene makes me think about Bacta once again. I pointed out the movie Get on the Bus. Um Now I've also pointed out that Bacta's grandmother knew the nursery rhyme, okay? Which if it look judging by Bacta's age, which she looks like she's in her late 30s or early 40s, the character, um, her grandmother would have been around during the Jim Crow days. And, you know, typically grandmothers teach you nursery rhymes that they knew around their childhood. So possibly Bacta's grandmother was in this place. I also found it interesting that during the Jim Crow days, how black people had to sit on the back of the bus, or so-called black people had to sit on the back of the bus, and Bacta is the bus driver. Who tells everyone to get back on the bus, which speaks to the civil rights movie Get on the Bus. Just little small connections. Now, if you know me, I'm going to say it again that my page is mostly about the esoteric stuff and the esoteric nature. I don't really get into actual actual characters and stuff as much, or actual archetypes. But if I see it, I will mention some of it. I just think that these are clues, just like the Gollywog clue. But yes, indeed. I don't know if Delcinia's done it already, but if you could, if the mods could post the chat number, I'll post it in the chat real quick to we get the conversation going, see if anybody wants to come up. And if not, we can go ahead and adjourn for the evening, and we'll catch you on Wednesday. Um a comment that you made earlier, Chocolate Beauty, about the streamers looking out for each other's time periods and not clashing. I think that was you that said that. Somebody said that. I agree with that. And I'm going to be reviewing everybody's lives, times that they live. I'm going to communicate with everyone, find out what time everyone goes live. And if I have to be the one to do it, I'll rearrange my schedule and we'll pick some other days. I will consult with all my mods on what days they're available, and just people that come into the chat, you know, just people that come into the chat and let me know what days and times that are good for you. um I try to stay out of everybody's way, like as far as doing my lives. I've been doing the Saturday night live. My first live was on a Wednesday, and I've been doing Wednesday lives for about a month and a half. And I go early because my man Taran is like 5 hour time difference, and I want him to, as you see, he had to leave because it was 4 o'clock in the morning where he's at, 4:30. So yeah, he's got about an hour or so until the sun starts coming up and he's hearing birds outside. So I don't think that's cool. Like, I try to get there early so he can get on, have a good build with us. Um, yeah, so let me know. Here we go. I'm pinning this to the top. If you want to hop on, Go ahead and hop on, fix your mic. I'll put you on stage. We could talk if you have any questions. I do want to get some vocal feedback on on my theory about Donna being the one that caused the contention and sow those seeds of distrust in Boyd. I want to get some feedback on that. I want to get some feedback on what Taran and I talked about. What do you guys think about those actors and stuff? The one that stands out to me is the Eloise one for sure. That woman definitely could play an older Eloise. So, yeah. Okay, PM says as long as you don't stop doing Saturday. Yeah, you know what? I really do want to keep Saturday Night Live because it gives me an excuse not to have to book my schedule for the Saturday because that generally will run into the entire weekend. Um, so I like Saturday nights. I like Saturday nights. A lot of people try to get in the studio this time. A lot of people were performing and stuff like that during these nights too. I get booked for stuff like that, video shoots and whatnot in the Atlanta area all the time for events and stuff. But yeah, I don't want to give up Saturday night live. But if I can work out with something with the other guys that are going, I know Jeremy went live tonight. Okay, I see we have Beth has come up. Let's bring Beth up to the stage. How you doing, Beth?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I hear you just fine, just fine. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for joining the call.
Oh,
Definitely bring bank run up. I can get 10 people up here, y'all. So feel
okay,
free to come on up. So what are your thoughts, Beth?
okay, okay. Yeah, the first thing is real. It's really cool to talk to you. I first started watching you when you was doing the Changeling, and I was like, this brother goes real deep. I have never gotten this deep into a show, and so just watching from, I kind of stumbled on it. I watched the first episode, and I was like, yo, they killing kids out the gate. I was like, this show about to be crazy. Because usually, that's taboo to kill kids, right? And so I was like, oh my goodness. So, yeah, I want to
Yes,
talk about,
indeed. I feel the same way. Let me comment on that real quick.
okay,
Yo, I'm glad you found me through the changeling. I'm glad you started watching from. Now you here with us. At that time, I wasn't even going live or anything like that. But yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of the fandom and the Frumly. I've been seeing you in the chat. Are you the same Beth in the chat?
yes,
Oh yeah, it's great to have you up here. It's great to speak with you as well. You know what I'm saying? The feeling is mutual with everybody. You know, we all trying to figure this thing out. I love going to the different lives of other creators, and yeah, the feeling is mutual, sis. Sure. I know you have a bit of a delay there,
oh,
but
yeah,
yeah,
just a little.
yeah, you could go ahead and go with your thoughts and questions if you have any.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to talk about Donna. I had rewatched from, and just for the life of me, I cannot see her as evil or bad. I don't know if I just don't want her to be, or but I really like the character. I think she is badass. And I think she's hiding something. That picture has something to do with it, and maybe something about the story of what happened to her sister. But I don't think it's for a malicious reason. I think she just hasn't had the right time to kind of share exactly what else is going on with her. But I think she's a really tough woman. But I've seen so many areas where she shows her vulnerability, and or she tries to start showing it, like at Ellis's wedding and um, things like that. And she'll be like, "Come on, before I get too mushy," or something like that. Like she's and in the trailer for season 3, she's gonna break down a little bit. So I think her vulnerability is coming out. But I really don't think she's a bad character or this mold, or I just think she's doing the best she can to keep it together, and like you said, sometimes a motherly figure. She does the Colony House. I don't agree with some of the stuff in Colony House, but in general, I really would have a hard time if Donna was the mold.
Right. And so that's what they want to do to you. They want the knife to hurt that much more. That's what I believe. So now that we've confirmed that there is a mold, do you see how it could be? Even though you don't, like, for me, I don't want Tien Chen to be the one in that cart. I don't want her to be the one that they're having the funeral for. But I mean, the evidence points to it. You know what I'm saying? So, like Donna, I know a lot of people like Donna. Um, I like Donna. I like the character. She's stern. She's a hard ass. She's a badass. She busts Randall upside the head with the butt of the shotgun. So she's gangster.
Right.
She's like, yeah, she's got so, but there's just so much to her though. Like shooting that tire out was a bit excessive. And even she realized that and even had to say that. I think that she realized she almost blew her cover. That's what I think that was. She was like, she talked about how she goes and blows the tire out with a shotgun. I think that was a bit excessive. It's like, no, y'all can't go. It's some young girls on that bus. We want them on. We want them here. Y'all get back in that diner. I will I will run down. I will run down with you. We got Gardenia Blossom. She agrees with you. She loves Donna as well.
Oh, cool.
Yes, Donna needs the people in Colony House for a purpose. She is needed by others. I agree. Now, I don't know if you heard my theory about Donna, but I think that Donna is who healed Fatima so that she can get pregnant. And once she healed Fatima so she can get pregnant, and that baby is going to be some sort of conduit for an entity to come through. And Donna helped facilitate that. That's what I believe. I believe she also healed Ellis. I believe she healed. I don't think it's her that's healing. I think Colony House is what heals the people. I think if you stay in Colony House, you get healed. Because Jim, he got crushed up under that house and he's still limping. He was limping when he took Ethan to see Sarah. He was limping in the he was limping to the phone in the trailer. He looks like he's doing a little bit better, but he was still kind of limping out there with Kenny. So why hasn't he healed? How is Ethan's leg healed? His leg was impaled with a metal table leg. Like, how is he healed right away? He's still walking around with the staff, even though he was able to run from Sarah. He kicked her with the same leg. Ellis fell off the house, jumped off the house, fell on his arm, broke his arm. He broke the arm. The arm is healed. He got stabbed, had to have a whole blood transfusion. He's
Right.
healed. Like something is healing them, and I think it is Colony House. I don't think the town heals them. I think I said that in a video one time that the town might be healing people, but then in a later video, I clarified that I think it is Colony House. I think that Tilly will also be healed. However, I think that Tilly will sacrifice her life for somebody. I think she's going to do something very heroic. Tilly was the only one rolling. Tilly was the first one rolling her sleeves up, ready to go help get Tabitha out of the house when before the house collapsed, and they didn't let her go in there. Tilly ran over to Julie to help her and consoled her when they heard the screams of Tom. So I just think that Tilly's the red herring, and I think because we wouldn't even care if Tilly was a mole, you'd be like, yeah, I knew it was her because look how she came in there with the morphine and got the girl all in tight. Yeah, I know it was her because look how she said this and said that. It would be so lame on the reasoning, right? But Donna, if it was Donna, it would be like, oh my God, I never saw that coming. You know, I also think that Donna had nefarious intentions when she wanted to separate Julie from her family. I think that Donna has been giving Victor those peaches to erase his memory. Um, I don't know. There's a lot concerning that. Donna always has her hands in her pocket, you know, and we haven't had any scenes yet with Donna by herself.
Hmm.
They have not given us any scenes with Donna by herself. We have not seen this woman by herself. That's a clear indicator that there's something about her that we do not know. So I'll rest my case on the fact that we haven't seen any scenes with this woman by herself. We haven't seen her in her bedroom sitting there looking at her sister's picture, reminiscing or crying, anything like that. We haven't seen her by herself at all. We always see her with her mask on. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'll let that at that. So what do you think what do you think of my pushback on Donna? Have I convinced you?
Um, no, you haven't convinced me, but I'm really curious to see what comes about with the whole Donna situation. I hear what you're saying, and yeah, there's some things that seem a little sus, but yeah, Donna's my girl. I'm gonna hold to that right now. But
Okay.
can I say something else about the cart?
Okay, hold the cart thought real quick. I
Okay.
want to say this. If Donna turns out to have some kind of nefarious intention, and it turns out that I'm right about that, will you come back up and talk about it? Hello? You
Yes, I
there?
will.
Oh, okay, you will. Okay. All right. Now let me drop the card on me.
Okay, so yes. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I think I have a delay or something. Um, okay, so I was watching, rewatching from, and when Tabitha went up in the tower, I could swore I saw her with white tennis shoes on before the boy in white pushed her out. So I'm thinking, remember when Victor said his mother didn't make it in the tree and maybe her body was still in Farmland?
Mm-hmm.
What if Tabitha's body is still there from being pushed out of the tower, and that's who they pick up and put in the cart with her white tennis shoes, and even at the funeral, Ethan gets up, that's his mother, so they could think she's dead from land, but she's alive in the real world, whatever that is. That just seemed weird
Okay.
to me.
So I have a smell test for all theories.
Okay.
And my smell test is, would that be interesting? The smell test is, if it's not interesting, it's most likely not going to be the case.
Mm,
Like, all right, take the Donna thing for instance. The Donna thing would be interesting off of the fact that you trust Donna.
yeah,
So that her being a mole would actually be interesting, and it would drive the story forward, right? Because then it would give some rhyme and reason to why she was doing all of these things that made you trust her, right? So boom, we have that. Now, with Tabitha, let's say Tabitha's body is found outside and she's dead, but we see her on the outside. Would that be interesting? I don't think that would be very interesting, because then all of a sudden you
yeah,
stop caring about the characters dying. You automatically don't care anymore if someone dies. So if they do that, then they would be, first of all, they would be giving away a big part of the show in the second season. In the third season, I'm sorry. So in the third season, they pretty much be giving the show away. saying, "Oh, you can die and you'll end up out there."
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that wouldn't draw a lot
Yeah,
of
that makes
interest.
sense.
A lot of people would kind of lose interest in the show and not even care about the characters dying anymore. The dying part is the only thing that gives us some high stakes. There's some high stakes. And the stakes is you could lose your life in this place without even finding out where you are, why you're here, what this place is, and before ever getting out of this place, you're dead. Those are the high stakes. High stakes are children can die in this place. Children are not safe in this place, even when it comes to other residents like Sarah. Somebody else might get the notion to kill Ethan. Um, anything can happen. So you would lose you would lose your stakes automatically if Tabitha's body is in Frumlin. Tabitha did have on white sneakers. I did see that. But I don't think that they would do that.
Yeah, okay. I thought I saw that. So, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So that one wouldn't cost pass the smell test for me. Um, but no, I definitely think that I definitely think she's out. I definitely think that she's out. And yes, Bank Run makes a good point that Donna has been there longer than anyone else other than Victor. But we don't even know it. So she could be lying about how long she's been there. Another thing about Donna is her sister's picture. Not only the fact that it has the corner torn out of it, but who carries a big ass picture to a camp or to a hunting trip? Who who carries them anywhere? Them shits are on coffee tables, mantelpieces, and hanging on walls. But I don't see them being in the truck with us while we on a camping trip. Another thing is, where is Donna's vehicle? Where's the truck? We haven't seen a pickup truck yet. Where's the pickup truck, y'all? Anybody see a pickup truck? That's something that I just thought of. I haven't seen anybody mention that or anything. But where is Donna's truck? Um, I don't mean to get back on Donna like that. But yeah, her truck, where's her truck? She specifically said that they had a truck and they had some deers in the back of the truck. Yeah, Donna got all that foolishness going on up there in Colony House. She be having Epstein Diddy parties up there,
Right.
and she wanted this young girl to come and join. That's wild. That's wild right there. And then she fought for it. Oh, these are your rules, boy. You said, yeah. Donna is on the list, y'all. Donna is the top of the list for suspect number one. Everybody else falls under Donna as far as suspicion is concerned. Some people were saying that it's the girl with the eye patch. I think the fact that she has the eye patch shows that she ain't got nothing to do. Like, she just a piece of glass flew in Shorty's eye. I don't think she's a mole. Because if I was the mole and you make some shit happen to me, I'm gonna be pissed at you. Nothing has really happened to Donna by this place. This Donna has been successfully hiding all those years before Boyd got there. And then yeah, Clara, eye patch girl. And then Donna has done some questionable things. Donna has done some questionable things. And then Dale, I think, is in cahoots with her. Nothing has happened to Donna to this place. has not done. Okay. Bank Run says Donna got her ass knocked out and tied up by Randall. But that wasn't the place. That was another that was a newcomer that suspected her of being a part of this thing. Donna was the one that told them to burn the body. Donna was the one that told him to burn the Smiles Davis. Why wouldn't you show that body to everything? Everybody got to see this. Everybody's got to see it. Okay. Chocolate Beauty says she thinks that Clara will play a bigger role this season. I don't think she's a background actor. I think she's kind of been in the background. If that's who you're talking about, I think she's kind of been in the background. Yes, Donna concealed the voice on the radio. Hey, y'all, we got to stop beating up on Donna. We got a Donna supporter up here, y'all. Let's show
Yeah, I
some,
will live.
let, let's show some respect to Donna a little bit. I did. I did. Donna's the motherly figure. She's the big auntie. She's the hard ass. She keeps everything in line. She's got a security team. She got the van up there. She gets her hands dirty in the ground, planting food for people to eat. That is such a righteous job to have as a farmer. Farmers are very righteous. I respect farmers. Um, she, she gets her hands dirty. She keeps things in line, you know. She was nice to Victor. I mean, that's kind of nice to like take the guy that's kind of, autistic or whatever you want to label him as, mentally traumatized person, you know. Yeah. Okay, Caleb is in here. Caleb said Donna's a real Donna a real one. Okay. Donna's a real one. I definitely agree with y'all on that. I just feel like her being a real one is what's going to make it sting even more. I mean, she seems to be a good person, but you just have to. Can you walk past the fact that she has orgies and shit like that going on at Colony House and she tried to make she fought for Julie to go up there with that shit. And as soon as she did that, Julie's over there asking Fatima. She sees Fatima's with Ellis. She sees Fatima kiss the other girl, and then she wants a kiss too. Like, come on, yo. What's going
Right.
on?
Like I said, just things I don't agree with.
What's going on?
I
What's
would want
going
her
on?
to raise my child for me.
Yeah. And it's crazy that every time something happens, see, the Matthews trust Donna too. Cause the Jim tells Julie, he said when he was under the house, he said if something happens to me, I don't know what's going on, what happened to your mother. There's a corridor down there. So I think your mother's safe. I think she got out of there before the stuff started falling in the hole on her. I think she got out of there. There's a corridor there, which I'm gonna say something else. The hole makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, but I will say that um the corridor down there. I want you to get your little brother and go with Donna. They didn't say go with Miss. Why wouldn't he tell them to go with Mrs. Lou? You know, he told them to go to Donna. So they're showing like a trust factor there. You know what I mean? But okay, so I digress on that. I want to say this about the hole. The hole makes no sense, y'all. So the hole falls open. The hole falls open, and Tabitha falls down there. So then something happens where the roof above the hole, or the ceiling above the hole where that light is at right there, all that wood starts to break and falls in the hole before Jim gets there. The boy in white knew the hole was going to happen. He knew that was going to happen. How did he know that? Is it a matter of these people are being controlled by someone? Because it was a weird ass idea to just start digging a big ass hole in the basement. That was weird. So was that being controlled? Was that someone controlling them? And then the stuff falling down in the hole makes no sense at all, because of this big ass hole. If stuff started falling down in that hole, the shit would have came all the way down. It wouldn't have been piled up and stuck in the hole like when Jim was trying to pull the stuff out. Like that wouldn't have been, because that's even, think about it. That's even what he's fearing, and what how he was feeling. He's like, oh shit, this stuff has crushed my wife. But then he even points it out later. Oh, there's a corridor down there, so I think your mother's safe. So the shit being stuck and packed off in that hole like that makes no sense, because the shit would have fell all the way through down to the tunnel. So I'm not saying that they made a mistake or anything. I'm saying that they did that on purpose. And Bank Run pointed it right out of what I was about to point out, of how the boy in white knew that the hole was going to happen. So in other words, this kind of lends a little bit of credence to Tony's theory, right? The shit in the hole looks like somebody took a big ass finger through, took a big finger and just stuck it in the hole through the house. And then all the shit got packed and stuck in the hole, like they stuck their finger in it. Right? Now, I got to pull up this picture.
Okay. Real, I'm gonna go ahead and get off this part just because I'm hearing like
Okay, it was
an
great
echo.
having you. Oh, yeah, no doubt. It was great having you here. It was great
Oh yeah, I
having you.
love talking to you. I'm gonna
And
stay on and
and
listen though.
don't forget, I think now another part of my theory is that Donna's going to be outed this season. So if she's outed, don't forget to call back in. Peace. All right, y'all. The boy in white said you made this place mad. So Sarah, so what if the place made the house fall too? That could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. I think there's a big hand at play. And I'm about to pull up the picture in a second here. And then we're going to get out of here after this. It's getting late. Okay, so where is the picture? I'm looking for the picture. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up. And I'm going to show y'all the hand that I think was at play. And it was on that behind the scenes photo, which I think I might have over here. Yep. Okay. Where are you? There you are. Look at this big ass hand in the sky, y'all. This big hand is what made the house fall. This big hand is what made the house fall. And I think that it was done by way of the crystal ball. I think that the crystal ball is what did it. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that thought right there. This is the hand that has something to do with the Matthews house falling. Who said something about a work spouse? Yeah, the Matthews children are running around unsupervised. Why would you tell Why would you tell your kids to go with Donna? I don't know. That hand may have been under the RV as well when Donna, Jim, and Boyd Randall was in there. Yes, indeed. Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. But then he left Ethan to be watched by he left Ethan he left Ethan to be watched by Donna. But then he told Julie to get Ethan and go there. But yes, indeed, we're gonna get out of here for this evening. I'll leave you guys with that. My thoughts on Donna. When I get some time, I'm gonna put the other thoughts and a little bit of historical information in a nice video. And that is just a little something to think about while we wait on the next episode. That's all for the live stream this evening. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.